Yeah.
Gringo's in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street, where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the D. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the two worlds meet. East 10th Street boys, bring the party. Bring the noise from Hialeah with some joy.
Drink water like that.
Well, I'm telling you, bro. I'm focused, bro. I'm focused. Yeah, inside out.
You know who I am by now. I said,
You identify as.
you know, hey. When Alex takes a shower, the dude goes for 3 hours. I mean, it's like, you know he's going to be gone for a while. You have time. Do whatever you're going to do. Go grocery shopping. Go eat dinner.
Night, Latin spice and neon lights.
Good morning and welcome to a special Sunday morning edition of East 10th Street Boys, straight out of Hialeah. I'm Bobby El Gringo, joined always by my brother, Alex the Boy, and special guest live from Puerto Rico, Fins Sammy. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Puerto Rico, bro. Come on, man.
Puerto Rico. Yeah. Puerto Rico. That's like, you know, that's media based. Puerto Rico.
It's because I'm sick.
Puerto Rico.
You guys are rude. It's I can't talk, you know. Sammy, how you doing, my man?
Whole show doing good, man, brother. Glad to be with you guys too this morning. Buenos días.
Mi
There you go. Bueno.
Mi gente. I'm PR.
I'm gonna help you out from Puerto Rico, Bobby. Well, obviously, my brother here, our beautiful host. I know it's early in the morning and he's going through some cold symptoms, just like we were. That's the reason for full disclosure.
I'm going through puberty.
Your puberty, you're becoming a man.
Yeah, late puberty.
So on Thursday, it's funny how this happened. We were both sick as hell and we didn't know. I messaged Bobby. He messaged me back and he's like, yeah, I'm in the same boat, bro. I'm sick. So we postponed it again. And today, Sammy, thank you for joining us. We're going to go over the in-season predictions for the whole NFL. Obviously, we're going to start with our Dolphins to see how far along we go. But we're going to have fun. We're going to make it fun. And let's see if there's any wild predictions on the board. Bobby, do you want to go first or you want Sammy to go first? What do you prefer?
No. Let's first get through Sammy. In regards of Sammy, what do you got? Fins TV, you got a new season starting up. And obviously, first off, welcome to the FTSN family. You know, you're going to be a part of the pregame show. The pregame show with me, my new co-host with Finstanza, and of course, Fins TV Plus, bro. Hit us up. What do you got planned here for the Dolphin season?
We have a whole weekend ahead of Fins TV. I'm basically Fins Sammy on FTSN. This Tuesday is our season premiere on Fins TV. The Right Now episode, we're going to talk about, you know, the Dolphins. Basically, now or never for the Dolphins because there's nothing too much. There's no excuses. There's no holding back. The Dolphins have to find a way to be respectable this year. So I don't expect them to be the Super Bowl. I think none of us do. But, you know, they have to hold the fort for some kind of way. So on Fins TV Plus on FTSN this Thursday night at 7 p.m., we're going to have a special guest. On Fins TV, we're going to have Armando Salguero joining us to talk the season preview.
Oh, amazing.
On Fins TV Plus on Thursday, we're going to have 2023 Indianapolis Colts Fan of the Year, Mayor Johnson. We're going to be talking about behind the enemy lines. We're going to talk about the game against the Colts. And, of course, the pregame show when Finstanza is going to be finding a way to put Bobby in a headlock probably on my Danny and the Dolphins thing. So it's going to be a fun week.
Until he says Puerto Rico the right way.
I said it, Puerto Rico.
Say it, bro.
Whatever, bro. Whatever.
It's not a seaport, man. It's a country.
It's a Puerto Rico. It's in Puerto Rico.
Which port?
No, but as Alex brought up earlier, today's show, what we're going to do is just kind of, do some season predictions. And we're not talking game by game. We're going to go, who we think the Dolphins offensive MVP is going to be. Who's the rookie? Who's going to lead in tackles this year? INTs. And then we're going to go through the NFL. Who's our league MVP? What did the wild card teams look like? So I can't believe that football's actually here. College football yesterday was awesome. UCLA is getting their ass handed to them. You know, that was, I turned that on. I was like, what the heck is that?
That
But
money went down the drain for that quarterback yesterday. Like,
Oh, dude, that must be embarrassing. But, you know, the 3 quarterbacks happened today, but Arch Manning yesterday, you know, all that hype. And I mean, again, it's a whole season
defending
left.
champs, and there are the defending champs.
Yeah, but you know, they are, you know, again, it's a whole season left. But of course, Quinn Ewers is probably sitting very pretty right now, you know, looking at what's going on in Texas. But big game tonight, University of Miami versus Notre Dame. Excited about that. You know, so far, Lee Corso, his final picks is undefeated. So we're hoping he's undefeated tonight.
Oh, he's undefeated?
Yeah, he
Wow.
hasn't got 1-0. He hasn't got one loss yet. So he's been doing good. So he picked Miami over Notre Dame. So let's hope he's right on. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. There you go. All right. So go ahead and start this off here, guys. And forgive me my voice again, getting over something. So Sammy and Alex will do most of the talking, but that's okay. That usually do. So
you sure about that? You sure about that? You want me to do the talking? You sure about that?
Are you positive? So I'll ask, and then the guys will take over. And since Sammy is our guest of honor on East Century Boys, we'll have Sammy start off. It'll be, I guess, an easy one, maybe. Sammy, who will be the Dolphins' offensive MVP this season?
Well, I'm gonna go off the limb, and mostly because of my expectation and more less as a prediction, but I expecting Jalen Waddle to have a huge year this year. So Tyreek, you know, it remains to be seen if he's gonna bounce back. Hopefully he does. If he finds a way to bounce back, the Dolphins probably gonna have a good season. Tua is usually Tua. I love Tua. I've been a huge supporter. I still have a lot of faith in Tua, but after watching that Cowboys documentary on Netflix and remembering all the Troy Aikman concussions, somehow I could not find a way not to think about Tua and the concussions and the risks he takes every single week. So it's worrisome. It's always going to be worrisome, but that's why the reason why my obvious choice probably will have to be Tua or A-Chain, but health of A-Chain is still questionable. So I expect him to, for Jalen Waddle to finally take this next step up and be the Dolphins MVP for this season. It's more like an expectation. Is maybe I'm too hopeful, but I expect I kind of expect Jalen Waddle to rise this year and to be the Dolphins MVP.
I actually love that
offensive
answer.
MVP.
Offensive MVP, but I love that answer because it was unexpected because I go another route in regards of Jalen Waddle this year.
Okay.
But Alex, Dolphins season offensive MVP this year is who to you?
Well, in certain part, I agree with Sammy in regards to the Waddle expectation of growth. And honestly, kind of like the changing of the guard, it kind of happened organically where all of a sudden Tyreek is not the clear wide receiver one. It's more like a Waddle-focused offense per se. And Tyreek might surprise. I do think a second close MVP will be A-Chain because of the way they're going to use him. Obviously, if he's healthy enough. But to me, the offensive MVP is going to be Tua. He has to be the best player on the field. This is offense. In order for us to succeed, the only way we will succeed if Tua is our offensive MVP. What does that mean? Obviously, it comes to health. It comes to playmaking. It comes to conserving himself, being smart, knowing when to throw it away. Obviously, all the football jungle that people understand. But realistically, for the most part, every team, if your quarterback is not your best player on offense per se, or at least is the best game manager, you're going to struggle offensively. And I think this is a year that everything has to come together because we are going to have a balanced attack. I expect we are a little bit more balanced in the running back room and the wide receiver room, even with the wide receiver depth that we didn't have as much before. And you kind of see it developing in the preseason. So there is really no excuse. And I believe also a stronger offensive line. So that's going to be a big part with Paul and Savadia. Did I say it right this time, Bobby? No? God damn it.
You're talking about Puerto Rico. You're going on me on Puerto Rico. You can't even say Savanea. Can't even say Savanea.
Thank you.
Savadia. There's no D in there. Always thinking about the D. You're always thinking about the D, bro.
So yeah, my offensive MVP is Tua.
Okay. It's like we get to all of that just to get to that final point.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. It's like a TV show. It's like more after the commercial, everything is oh, and after commercial break, it's like, God damn it, man! I just wasted 35
just
minutes
get to
of
the
my
point,
goddamn
bro.
life. Appreciate it, bro.
It's like,
Appreciate it.
I like you both mentioned. Sammy brought up Jalen Waddle. You say Tua, but you both mentioned Devon Achane.
Yes.
In your speeches there. That's my guy. I think Devon Achane is going to be our offensive MVP. And Sammy's absolutely right. We don't know what his health is going to be right now. He is going to play week 1, or that's projected to be the case. We don't know how that's going to impact his season. But what we saw from him last year, how he was involved in this offense, how we know the defense, the opposing defenses are going to pay attention to Tyreek and Waddle. I think Devon Achane, especially now with Ollie Gordon, he's going to have so much opportunities, not just in the running game, but in the passing game as well. I think he's going to be, in regards of offensive MVP, he's going to be that guy. I think, Alex, when you go with Tua, and it's just sort of right into, when we talk about team overall MVP, for me, I'm spoiling it for me because we're going to go to defensive MVP right now, but you're not far off with Tua being the offensive MVP because he is the most important player. If he's gone, that's it. To me, he's the team's overall MVP. Okay. It rides and dies with Tua. Offensive MVP, I'm going to go Devon Achane because I think of what he did last year. I think about Raheem Mostert the year before. So that's my answer. Defensive MVP, Alex. Who is it?
Man, I've struggled because I believe it's going to be one of the front 7, even from Zach Zeeler, in a combination of Chop or Jalen. But realistically, and I'm not even going to say because we have some rookies I might surprise.
What's going on, Mom?
Depth.
Sorry, mother's watching this.
I think it will be a close call, but I want to go with Minkah Fitzpatrick because I believe he's going to stabilize that defense from the back end. Now, our strength is our front 7. We might have the best front 7 in the NFL, depth-wise and talent-wise, and they're all pretty young except Chubb. Chubb is the oldest one out of the group. So,
Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, Bradley Chubb. Now, I foresee, obviously, the secondary is going to be challenged, but it's all up to how much pressure our front 7 could create in the line of on the line of scrimmage and in the quarterback. But I think Fitzpatrick is going to be that stabilizing force where the numbers might not be there realistically, but what the fans don't see, what the coaches do see, he's going to be the driving force for that defense and kind of on that back end, that last layer of defense, that's the last line of defense. And I think he's going to stand out. He's motivated. He's young. He's back. And honestly, I think it's going to be a pleasant surprise, this defense. A lot of people are counting this defense out, and I know they're just focusing on the front 7, but that secondary seems hungry. They seem that they're playing together. There's unity, and for a team to perform well defensively, talent aside, you got to be a unit. You got to be one. Where someone fucks up, makes a mistake, you got someone covering up for you. And that's why I think Minkah is going to come out, and he's going to take us a lot of holes that the front 7 creates in pressure, kind of like that middle secondary at times could falter, but I think Minkah's going to stand out this year.
So Minkah's going to fill a lot of holes.
Yes,
gotcha.
A lot of D holes. A lot of D holes.
There it is. All right, there it was. Took you long enough. Sammy, defensive MVP, my brother. Who do you have?
I kind of like his pick, but I truly believe that the Dolphins are going to end up winning that trade. I've said it before. I'm going to ride on the limb on that. I think the Dolphins, we criticize so much, but I think at the end of the day, he's going to end up winning that trade. I think Minkah is going to be a much better player for the Dolphins than what Jalen Ramsey is going to be for the Steelers. So that's a good pick by Alex. But I had to go. So many people are hurt right now that there's no way for us to think about the whole season. But I'm going to go with Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks is kind of hurt right now.
I like that.
But I like Jordan Brooks. I truly believe that with that front 7, Jordan Brooks is going to be able to run the sidelines and do a great job and probably get some interceptions he didn't get last year. And he's playing for a restructured contract somewhere down the line. So that's motivation enough. So I truly believe Jordan Brooks should probably be the Dolphins defensive MVP. I know it's not going to be a popular pick, but usually, you saw Dolphins for the not so popular pick to finally find a way to redeem himself and to be the best player on the field. So Jordan Brooks is my pick.
I love that answer, man. And I'm going to touch on Jordan Brooks a little later on. I'm going to roll with Chop. I think Chop Robinson is going to be our defensive MVP this year.
That's the best choice.
Yeah, what you saw in the preseason, how he benefited from having Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb on the field at the same time, and not even talking about Zach Sealer and Benito Jones and Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips. What those guys are going to do that's going to open up so many rushing lanes for Chop Robinson. And I think this kid is going to get to the next level. He's going to be our all-pro. I think he's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. So I think I know we love Jalen Phillips. I think we're going to love Bradley Chubb. I love what Lewis said. He has Bradley Chubb as our defensive MVP this year. Love that answer. I think Bradley Chubb's going to show. He's going to show people, hey, that trade, that wasn't a bad trade because a lot of people hated on that trade, and they still do. I don't. And I think Bradley Chubb's going to own up to that this year, especially with this D-line. But I think Chop is going to benefit the most from what this front seven can offer. And I think he's going to end up being our defensive MVP by the year's end. We're going to go, holy crap, dude, we're golden with this kid. And, of course, we're going to be discussing, okay, what happens to Bradley Chubb, what happens to Jalen Phillips. We're not going to be discussing with Chop Robinson. We know what we got with him. So I'm expecting big things from Chop this year. I already mentioned who my team, and I would just shout out, first off, good morning to Miss Fins. Miss Fins is in the house. Great to see her in there. Bobby of the Dive Bar is here as well. Good morning, sir. Lou, my brother, how are you? Miss Fins, I'll let Tati know that your mother says hello. Hello to your mom as well. Mommy Fins. Appreciate you. Mom, my mom's in the house. Tammy from Miami, tuning in from Hialeah.
That's right.
Hello, mommy. So great to see everybody here. We might have Alex. Alex, shut the up already. I can't say nothing without you giggling and shit. It's too early for you, bro. Mom. Oh, Ellie did that yesterday.
She did.
Tati was telling me a story, a whole story. She was filling me in on Dexter, the show Dexter. She's watching Dexter, but she was so excited because I'm not going to spoil. I don't want to say if anybody watched Dexter. I don't want to get mad at me. But she was telling me the scene that happened in Dexter because I don't watch Dexter.
Yeah, I never
follow
watched
it, but she does, and so. But I'm familiar with everything because it's based in Miami. There's characters that I like, or whatever. So she's telling me this whole thing, and she's like really passionate. And Ellie, my youngest, Sammy, my about to be 4 years old playing for 6 days. She's sitting and she's like, and she has her phone and she's mom. Oh, dude, she's amazing. But mom, mommy, and like Tati's talking to me. I'm looking at Ellie, and Ellie goes, Tati goes, I'm gonna try to ignore her. I'm ignoring her. Mom, no, it's like Stewie Griffin from Family Guy. Mom, it's the same thing.
Did Tati say what?
Tati just goes, what? And she goes, let me talk to Daddy. Get out. Let me talk. That's all she wants. It was the funniest thing, dude. Chop better have 15 sacks this year. Look at that. Look at Miss Fins. Anyway, sorry for. Well, that's East 10th Street Boys. We sidetrack. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Like and subscribe. Anyway,
dude, we're like a highway when it's congestion. You just got to take routes out. You just got to you got to merge. You got to get out, go through the Hialeah, all the back streets. Come on.
Let's do it. So I already said who my overall team MVP is. You brought up Tua for offensive MVP. I was like, hey, he's our overall team MVP.
Yeah.
He has to be. In order for Miami to succeed, Tua has to be the overall MVP. Because if he's out, unless Quinn Ewers comes in, I'm not going to even mention Zach Wilson, unless Quinn Ewers comes in and is like, whoa, wait a second. Tua's the MVP, has to be the MVP for us to succeed, right? And he has to be healthy the whole season.
Yes.
Alex, you said Tua was our offensive MVP. Is he your overall team MVP, or is there someone else out there that you would put in that conversation?
My overall team MVP is our head coach, Mike McDaniel. He has to be the best version of himself. And understand.
Don't worry, we got Sammy. Sammy's here.
This is make or break. Okay. This team is to his identity. his age bracket per se, like for example, that window, his play calling already in his 4th year, it has to be different. It has to evolve. He has to use all his weapons. So to me, in order for teams to succeed, that does not mean that the coach is going to make the right call every time. It is a team effort in regards even to the coaching staff. It's assistant coaches, it's DC, obviously his offensive coordinator or pass game coordinator, whatever the case might be. But to me, for that, obviously you got to perform on the field. But for that to translate, leadership, growth, I think Mike McDaniel has to be our overall team MVP for us to reach any ceiling that we saw, because I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but the last couple of years, expectations were high. There's no expectations right now, with the Miami Dolphins nationwide, even
No
though
real
our schedule,
expectations.
no real
Yeah,
expectations,
no real
correct.
expectations.
No championship expectations. It's like not championship or bust. But
Yeah.
overall, even due to our scheduling, it seems to me Miami's going to be an entertaining team, a competitive team. So for us to reach that pinnacle, I think out of all the growth we talk about development and Tua, I think Mike McDaniel has to show his development as a coach and his development as a leader of men. Obviously, he has a different style, which I don't mind, but he has to show that it is effective and can lead to winning football continuously and growth amongst the team.
Sammy, your response to that, and then your overall team MVP.
What Alex says is 100% correct. That's what Mike McDaniel should do, what we expect him to do, what I'm queasy, for the lack of a better word, about being positive and confident that he will or even can do, because he's too smart to get out of his own way sometimes. The guy is bright, the guy is confident, but that's basically the problem he has. He's too smart and too confident. People like that sometimes believe that no, it will be okay. Trust me. We are in year 4, Mike McDaniel, and we're still trusting for her to have the right challenges to don't throw that slant on the end zone. I mean that corner into the corner of the end zone. It's the same thing every single year. So I don't want to go too much into Mike McDaniel, but what he says 100% right. That's what he should do what we expect him to do. But I'm right now not too confident that he will be able to do it. That's the problem. My offensive MVP, my Dolphins MVP has to be Tua. There's no other way. That if the Dolphins are going to go where they want to go, at least to a brink of a playoff spot, maybe getting in and winning, every single team I believe has a chance. You have 17 games. Every single team has a chance to make the playoffs. You have to bring one of those games that you get lucky, 1 or 2, you stay healthy, and you're in the playoffs. The Dolphins, that's the Dolphins' problem. They don't find a way to get healthy. That's why we have the conversation of the 2023 season, where the Dolphins could have a chance to be a great team, but it is what it is. Injuries rattle up that team. So if the Dolphins find a way to stay healthy, and more of everything is Tua stays healthy, he should be the Dolphins MVP. But it is what it is. By now, I'm not too confident of that happening either with that offensive line. So we'll see what happens. But that's my choice. Tua should be the Dolphins MVP.
I think you're right on. I'll stay with you, Sammy. Who is your Dolphins breakout player this year? Who is a player that, it could be a rookie too, but who is a player that no one is talking about that you think by the end of the season, they're going to be like, holy crap, we have somebody right here. Who's your breakout player?
Not talking about not too much, but Chubb Robinson has to be the breakout player for me. There's no way that Chubb doesn't take the next step. I see some analysts, some media pundits in Miami, some reporters in Miami saying that Chubb Robinson is a one-trick pony. I don't believe that. I think he's still someone called Homer Jelly or something like that. I don't know. He's a one-trick pony, and he just has one step, and he doesn't have a power rush move, so he's not impressive. He's just a guy. It's so annoying when he says that, but that's what he believes. I completely disagree. I think Chubb Robinson. I truly believe Chubb Robinson will take the next step. He's going to be probably one of the best players in the whole league by year 3, year 4. So Chubb Robinson, I think, is the one who's going to take the next step.
There you go, Alex. Breakout player.
Aladino just jumped in.
Yeah,
I like Malik Washington. I like Kenneth Grant. But I keep analyzing over and over and over, and I'm like, breakout to me sometimes is opportunity, position, and I think the one that will break out and turn a lot of heads is Patrick Paul. I think we found a very good left
I like
tackle
that.
in Patrick Paul.
Yeah.
He was groomed by the perfect left tackle, an exemplary left tackle and Armstead. Obviously injuries bar none, but you can tell he still has a relationship with Miami. I like that. There's just very few ex-players. When you see Armstead like that, and that he's still close with Miami players and the staff, and he's around practice sometimes. And I think he has a forever mentor in him. And I think he's gonna surprise a lot of people. Not only his physical gifts, but the mental aspect of his game and the responsibility that he has. And obviously, the things that is often criticized the most, obviously, is offensive line. And you mentioned something, Sammy. Chris Greer has taken a lot of heat. The last 2 years of Chris Greer have been pretty productive. Aside from the backup QB situation last year, everything else, a lot of the picks have been very well. I love the Fitzpatrick trade. We were going to lose Jalen Ramsey out of the way. So, obviously, often criticized. The offensive line, because of Greer, I think that there's spots here for Paul just to excel and just catch the attention. And I'm not gonna say he's going to be one of the top tackles in the NFL, but due to the situation and the position that he's in, he's definitely going to surprise a lot of people and be very productive, in my opinion.
I love that answer, Alex. I really do.
And I love
man. I'm going to stick with my OG choice, which I said before the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it's panned out, I'm happy with that. I'm going to say Malik Washington is my close second. He could be like that 1B because I think Malik Washington is going to surprise a lot of people this year, especially with what you saw in the preseason. I mean, that's just a taste. I'm going to stick with Jason Marshall. He's in line to be your starting nickel. I think he's going to be our breakout player. When we drafted him, there was other guys on the board that I was, especially at defensive back, that I was like, we need to take that guy. We ended up taking Jason Marshall, and he was that one where you kind of went, like you're like, like, okay. But he in camp, and then when you watched film and you look at who he played against, and in college, and then you rewatch the film, and then you watch who he played in college. And then you see what he did in camp, and then you watch what he's doing in the preseason. You're going, okay, wait a second. And Alex talked about opportunity. Our secondary might be right behind or right in front of the offensive line in regards to this weakest unit. That is the biggest opportunity bed for any player. Any player, because it's a no-name secondary. There's no real big names in it. Minka Fitzpatrick, safety-wise, yes. But I'm talking about the corners. It's no name. Any player who steps up could be a breakout player in that secondary. But I think Jason Marshall is going to step up this season and be our breakout player on the defensive side of the ball, where we're going to go next year. Damn, okay, we have someone back there. Now, who can we add to pair with those guys? So I'm going to ride with Jason Marshall on that. Now, Jason Marshall's a rookie. So who is going to be our most impactful rookie? Alex. Who's our most impactful rookie this season for the Dolphins? You're muted, Alex.
My apologies. I was thinking of
Kenneth Grant. Steve. I have my co-host Vin TV every single time he goes, it's mute, and you just pull a Steve Alex. So
there you go.
And the thing is, you don't want to forget what you said, and it's always perfectly said when you're on mute, and you're like, God damn it, man! It's like Jesus Christ. I do think Kenneth Graham's gonna have an impact because, like I said, that front seven is amazing. But Bobby, you got my pick in Jason Marshall. He's gonna rise to the occasion. He has a perfect opportunity. Obviously, the coaching staff loves what they see in him, and we talked about this when the draft happened. It's like there's a possibility with this depleted set, even signing Douglas and all that. Like you see the writing on the wall where he has the opportunity and he's a playmaker. And I think it's the perfect situation for him to excel.
Sammy.
Kenneth Grant for me. Kenneth Grant, I think, when the draft came, I don't say you had Kenneth Grant all over the board. People say it sometimes. Some people say he's a steal for the Dolphins. Some people say that he was taken too early. I think Kenneth Grant's going to fill a void that when Calais Campbell basically left because the Dolphins did not want to pay the $5 million the Cardinals gave him. We thought we were so worried about about the Dolphins defensive line. But right now with Kenneth Grant, everybody has forgotten how scared, how worried we were about the defensive line. They just because the 3 rookies the Dolphins took a defensive tackle this year have been playing great in camp, but especially Kenneth Grant. So Kenneth Grant is for me the best option for it.
So again, I brought up Jason Marshall, so that would be the easy answer for me. I think this whole rookie class could be impactful for Miami this year.
Yes.
I think they're all going to have a chance. Again, you think about Zeke Biggers and Jordan Phillips, and, all of them have an opportunity to make an impact, and I think they will. And I said Jason Marshall, and I'm cool with that. But just to give you a different one, I'm going to go Ollie Gordon. I think Ollie Gordon could make a big impact for the Dolphins this year. I talk about what he's going to be able to do for Devon Achane. We talked about Devon Achane's health, especially at the start of the year. Ollie Gordon's probably gets him a lot of reps. If he could make the most of those opportunities and make impactful plays with those reps, he's not going to be backing up anybody anytime soon. We're going to see a lot of him throughout the year, especially in that red zone offense, that short yardage situations. So if I'm not going to say Jason Marshall, I'm going Ollie Gordon. I think Ollie Gordon could be our most impactful rookie this year, especially on the offensive side of the ball, which is Miami's bread and butter right now. Alex, I'm gonna. I'll stick with Sammy. Sammy,
Yeah.
Which free agent signing or trade acquisition will make the biggest difference?
Minkah Fitzpatrick for me. That's for me. That's kind of easy because,
Yep.
like I said, I truly believe at the end of the day the Dolphins are gonna end up winning that trade. And who would have thought that Chris Greer will find a way to trade it on Ramsey and basically get something equal or even better at the end of the day? So Minkah Fitzpatrick for me is huge in the secondary. Again, one of those positions that after the draft we were so worried about the holes in the secondary, the holes and the safeties. Hi, Mom. That's your mother-in-law, right?
That's my mother. Yeah,
mom.
Tati. Yeah, Tati's not watching. Tati's sleeping. That's Mommy Finstock. That's Tammy from Miami. That's my mother watching. Yeah,
that's your mom. Hi, Mom. So Minkah Fitzpatrick for me. Minkah is gonna be huge for the Dolphins in the secondary. So Minkah Fitzpatrick for me, this is the easy choice.
Easy. Love it. Alex, are you? It's Minkah for me as well. Just saying.
It's Minkah for me now. A small fraction. Now, obviously, not the most important signing, but I love the fact that we re-signed Kendall Lamb. That to me is huge for the offensive line. I like that little part, and I know I mentioned the Douglas signing, but hands down, Fitzpatrick. Not on name, just on situation and Fitzpatrick for sure.
There you go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So Alex, I'm gonna stick with you here. Let's see if you supreme. I don't give a damn. Judge all you want. I don't care. You're a piece of crap this morning. You just keep judging me.
I love you, bro. I love you, man. I love you.
Whatever, bro. I didn't say Port of Rico. I said you guys suck, man. The both of you guys.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna rename it. I'm gonna put up a map.
Port of Rico. Because I'm the whitest man in this group right now. Whatever, you know. Yes. But okay,
go ahead, bro.
Alex, this is easy, but so maybe you could tell me, you'll give me your answer, but then you'll tell me where do you think he finishes in regards to passing yards? Who leads the team in passing yards this year? Quinn Ewers. What is he? How many yards is he? I'm just playing. What do you got? Zach Wilson.
I mean, barring injury, obviously the answer is simple.
Barring injury. Not
barring injury. Sorry,
barring,
Barry. My apologies.
Can't even talk. See, talk all that shit. Can't even talk.
They just talk to
barring
me.
injury.
Those kinds of
You're a designated one.
sure.
Obviously, it's going to be Tua. I think Tua's going to be healthy. I don't foresee a situation. Obviously, something could happen, a concussion, a hit that he's out for a few games. But to me, Tua, he's going to be anywhere between 3,500 to 4,000 yards, I believe, and in the 30 touchdown range around there with less than double digits interceptions, in my opinion.
There you go. Sammy?
I expect Tua to take a dive on completion percentage and QB rating, but have more yards because I think he's going to protect himself a lot more. He's going to throw the ball away a lot more. So between 3,800 and 4,000 yards for Tua should be the goal. So I expect to round out the 4,000 yard mark because, like I said, I think he's going to protect himself better. He's going to throw the ball away a lot more. So you're going to have he's not going to be in the running for that huge completion percentage record like he did a couple of years ago for the Dolphins, but he should have a healthy 4,000 yards, 3,800 yards for sure.
I'm with you on that one. I have Tua between 38 to 4,000 yards this year. I think he's going to miss some games. I mean, it depends on how many games he's going to miss, and that's going to impact Miami's season. So I guess that's the follow up. Alex, very quick, just a quick answer. Over under 13 games for Tua this year.
Over.
How many? What would you give?
I would say 15 games.
I'm with you. All right, 15. Sammy?
Yeah.
Over 16.
There you go. Hey, that would be great news. But yeah, so I'm with you though, Sammy. Right, everything you said, I got it right here. 38 to 4,000 yards, I think, for Tua this season. Who leads the team in rushing yards, Sammy?
It has to be A-Chain because even if he's hurt, his yards per carry usually are the highest on the team. So it has to be the one A-Chain. So I expect them to take it, similar kind of snaps as last year, but probably get protected a little bit more because the offensive line last season, he has some huge runs that made them look a lot better in the rushing mark, but so many times he ran for loss or for net gain. So I expect them to Ollie Gordon to take some of the carries away. The Dolphins probably got lucky by not trading for Robinson because Ollie Gordon might be the one who takes the second part of the snaps. Jeff Wilson's going to be there. He's going to probably be elevated for the first, 4 games of the season because, he knows the system. And while Ollie is still learning, we have to see what happens. But I expect OHN to basically be the best running back in the field for the Dolphins every single time they step on the field.
Alex?
I think it's going to be A-Chain. There's no doubt in regards to, obviously, I'm not going to count receiving yards, but I think A-Chain, he has.
No, this is rushing yards, not receiving.
Yeah,
yards.
That's right. But
you can't count combined, receiving yards, though.
Yeah.
No, not combined, just rushing.
Just rushing yards. I still say A-Chain, no matter what. Asshole.
He's trying to mess with you. He's trying to mess with your mind.
He is. That's okay. That's all right. I got him.
No, I'm going H-in as well. It's obvious, right? I would love to see, and I think he could. I would love to see H-in with 1,500 and all this whatnot. But I'm going to go. I think because of the Ollie Gordon situation. Thank you, Alex. The Ollie Gordon thing. I'm going to go between 900 to 1,000. I think that's where he's going to be at because I think Ollie is going to get some of that as well. I think he's going to feed off of those opportunities. Who leads the team in receiving yards? Alex.
I'm gonna go Waddle. I'm gonna go Waddle. I think, like we talked about previously, and I think Tammy might agree with me here. There's been a change. Like I said, Tyreek Hill can still surprise and still go for 2,000 yards because he's explosive. But I think there's been a shift, a more balanced shift. And Waddle, if healthy, and he has no drop issues, I think he's gonna lead us in receiving yards.
Same here. Hey, same here. I expect Waddle to to lead the Dolphins in passing yards. Everybody's trying to not to think too much about it, but Tyreek Hill might get traded during the season. During the off season, there's been reported about too many teams monitoring the situation about the situation about Tyreek Hill might be traded. Who knows if he gets traded for sure to Waddle is going to be the leading receiving back, the wide receiver. But even with that, I expect as an MVP, my prediction for MVP for the Dolphins, offensive play for the Dolphins, I expect him to have the most yards. Probably 1,400. Waddle has to take that step because Tyreek is probably not going to be here next year. So time is now for him. He has to take that step now, not wait for next season.
I think it's absolutely fair to think of that, in regards of when you're making that answer about like, does Tyreek last the season? Does he get traded? It really depends on how Miami's doing. I think that will come into play. If Miami is riding high, we could see Miami just running it running the table with the guys, just kind of finishing the season as a group. Miami's failing, then yeah, I could see Tyreek getting moved and all this whatnot. But I think in this, I gotta ride with Tyreek Hill. I mean, if Tyreek's on the team, he's going to be your leading guy, especially in receiving yards. I don't want to. I'm gonna spoil it because I have some at the end here. But there's again, Jalen Waddle is another beast. I just have a feeling about Jalen Waddle this year. But with Tyreek Hill, I'm riding with Tyreek. Who leads the team in touchdowns? I'll just go ahead and say I think that'll be Devon Achane. Again, rushing and receiving combined, I think Devon Achane's our leading guy in total touchdowns for the team. Sammy, who's your leading? Who leads the team in touchdowns this year?
Julian Hill. I'm just kidding.
You liar.
Devon Achane for sure. I think he's gonna be receiving a lot of catches and a lot of touchdowns by passing. So I think there's no way that Devon Achane at the end of the day is not the leading TD scorer. So my answer is Devon Achane for sure.
There you go. Alex?
Well, we have the first unanimous choice, I believe. It's going to be Devon Achane, I think, because there's no way in hell that he will not score at least a touchdown or two per game, in my opinion.
Hopefully, there you go. Hopefully, no. We'll keep it like this, Alex. Who leads the team in tackles?
Oh shit. I'm gonna go with Jordan Brooks. I think, like Sammy said, he's gonna be flying all over. And like I said, sometimes the front of our line will apply the pressure. Obviously, they're going to stop the run, but I think Jordan Brooks is going to be able to freelance within that defense, and he's going to be the most impactful. And obviously, the numbers will show tackles-wise.
Yeah, Sammy, is this another unanimous choice here?
Yeah, that's for sure. Because absolutely, because the defensive front is gonna be so much better, and you can see Jordan Brooks basically roaming the sideline and making a lot of tackles. So I expect him to have a huge year.
He led this team last year. He's gonna lead it again. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Adrian's with us. Adrian of the Rainy Day Podcast. What's up, brother? Great to see him. Host of Too Raw for SmackDown as well. Guys, go check out Adrian on the Rainy Day Pod. Who leads the team in sacks? There's a lot of options to choose from, Sammy. Who leads the team in sacks this year?
I had to go with Shaw Robinson because for me, he's the best choice. He's going to basically find a way with that defensive line and with Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb making the pressure and probably with Matt Judon playing defensive tackle at some point, rushing the passer from the inside. I expect Shaw Robinson to I'm going to even say it. I think he's going to have more than 14 sacks this year. I expect him to have a huge year this season.
I'm on Chop as well, man. I think Chop Robinson is going to lead the team in sacks. I got 10 plus. And that could be the 14, that could be the 15, like Miss Finn said earlier. But I think Chop Robinson is going to benefit the most from this front seven. Alex, you don't look as sure. Who is it?
Well, I'm going to go with Chop, but I think it's going to be pretty even. I think we're going to have three that have 10 plus sacks this year. That's how much I believe in this front seven. I think it'd be Chubb, Phillips, and Chop, all three of them 10 plus sacks. But I'll give the edge to Chop because his athletic, his ability. I know.
Who do you want? Who did you really want to say?
No.
Who did you? Before we said
it was Chop. It was Chop. But I was really close with Jalen Phillips because I think Jalen Phillips is going to bounce back. And Chubb as well. Chubbs and Phillips are on a bounce back season. Chubb is well rested. I know he's older, but he has that veteran savvy. But on athleticism alone, Chop can get you there because Chop just has another level that he could just reach. So Chop by like 1 or 2 sacks.
So like Lou says, he says Chubb leads with the big sacks this year. I love that. That would be great for Miami. Because we know what Jalen Phillips and what Chop Robinson could be and what Jalen Phillips is. But if Bradley Chubb's leading the team in sacks, that means your team, there's something really good going on in Miami. And then Adrian says Jalen Phillips, but that just tells you how, and it's basically Alex's answer. It just tells you how much opportunity is there for this defensive front seven. And then
that's a great problem to have.
It is awesome. And you brought up a name that
run years ago. And now we have the complete opposite.
Yes.
And Sammy brought up the name Matt Judon that nobody.
Yes.
You kind of losing the shuffle, but that late off-season signing that we get him, and you're like, wait a second, holy crap, we did get Matt Judon.
And now, Bobby, I want to throw a curveball here do you or Sammy think that because of the attention that's going to be gathered by Phillips, Robinson, and all that, do you think Zeller and Grant have a chance to get high up there in sack numbers?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Oh,
Because-
Zach Sealer for sure. Zach Sealer for sure.
See?
You know, the rookie. You know, I would love to see it. Oh, look,
Yes.
look. Oh, there he is. It took him. It took him just there. There he is. Fins Stanza. We talked about you earlier, my man. We talked about you earlier.
You're gonna have to listen to the whole show to see.
Where were you when we were talking about Mike McDaniel?
I know. Where were you? You know, you just show up.
I needed you, and you let me high and dry.
His ears were ringing. Like he heard he
That's why
felt
he's
the
here.
McDaniel talk. He's like, I have to get up. I have to comment. I have to say something. Not on my watch.
I think Zach Sealer, Alex, is another one. I mean, because how many sacks did he have last year? How many sacks did he have?
Did he have 9 or 10? Like, did he get to 10 or no?
I think nine is the number.
I think it was in that area. I don't know why I'm thinking 10, but
yeah.
But think about that. I mean, think about what the opportunity he could get with the other guys on that line. So you're right. You're right. I don't know about Grant. And I'm not saying because Grant's any. I just think because Grant's a rookie, that rotational piece with Benito Jones and the other guys. But Zach Sealer for sure could benefit from this. Who leads the team in interceptions, Alex?
Oof. You know what? I'm gonna go with our rookie, Marshall.
I'm only a fan of the two real Puerto Ricans on this panel. At least it's not Puerto Rican at all, so I guess it's
does he know? Like, I'm not Puerto Rican.
Why, Alex? Why does your face do that though? Are you offended?
No, my face didn't do anything. I'm an
your face.
Puerto Rican.
What's wrong with Puerto Rico, bro?
There's nothing.
What's wrong with Puerto Rico, bro?
There's nothing wrong with Puerto Rico. There's something wrong with Port of Rico, but there's nothing wrong with Puerto Rico.
I never said that.
For those who just joining, you have to go back.
You have to go back to the beginning.
Yeah, you have to go
That
back.
has to be one of Bobby. That has to be one of our sound effects. So whenever we have to put Port of Rico, like that.
I didn't say Port of Rico.
Sound out. Bobby said Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Puerto
Makes me
Rico.
think of Rico
You just
Suave.
said it.
He used to call me that.
Rico, yeah, it is. It is
Rico
Rico
Suave.
Uncle Rico.
All right, Alex. Who's your Uncle Rico? Who's your interception leader?
Who, me?
Yes.
I already said it.
Who?
Marshall.
Marshall. Oh,
Marshall Jr. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, how many?
I want to say, I don't think we're gonna have crazy amount of picks. It'll be more average, but I want to say 5 or 6 around there.
Okay. I think you're in the money. I think that's in the ballpark of the leader. Sammy? Is Alex wrong?
Makes sense with Patrick.
To say Alex is wrong.
Well, he's wrong on this case, but yeah, he's wrong in this case. Because
Thanks, Sammy. Appreciate it.
But just in this case, let's keep
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. I love you. I love you too.
I make Patrick. I don't expect the corners to get a lot of interception. This defense has not been known for getting too much interception from the corners. So I expect Minka Fitzpatrick to find a way to run. And during the training camp, you can see Minka Fitzpatrick was the one making the interceptions. So I expect that trend to continue. I expect Minka Fitzpatrick to be the leading interception for the Dolphins this season.
And Bobby, before I'll respond quickly. Sammy, you made a great point. The reason I picked Marshall is because since our cornerbacks are kind of unproven, I think they're going to target them. So they're going to be more available in the given case there's a mistake by the quarterback to do that because of the Minka effect and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'll tell you.
You were wrong, but you're right about that.
There you go.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to say I like this answer from Evan. My answer is Minka Fitzpatrick. I have Minka with 5+.
Oh, that's
but,
true.
Yes. You know, when we were talking about free agent, trade acquisition, who can make an impact, you know, obviously Minka's an easy answer, and I went Minka, but Melifonwu is a guy that I believe could surprise a lot of people this year, that he could be our long-term starter next to Minka in the safety. I know, I'm with you, but I think that's a great answer by Evan. I am rolling with Minka with 5+ interceptions this year. I'm just going to roll with that. I hope, you know, our leading interception guy last year was Dotson with 3, I believe. So I hope it's on a linebacker. I hope it's someone in our secondary. So, you know, G2 says sell for Sellers. I am looking forward to watching Lennar Sellers today, if that's what we were talking about. Besides, obviously, Carson Beck and the Hurricanes, but Sellers, let's see if he could, because yes, it wasn't good for projected quarterbacks for next draft, but Sellers could kind of move ahead a little bit very early on. So we'll see. let's see here. Let me just before I get to the final record and everything. Let me see. What's the biggest? Alex, I'm gonna roll with you on this one because I know it's hard for you to go negative at all. But what's the biggest weakness the Dolphins need to fix? I know.
would go.
It's hard for him, Sammy, not you.
I would go with what I mentioned about McDaniel. It comes to the coaching, the play calling, the situational play calling. Because on the field, I think they've tried to address their biggest weaknesses in regards to like the offensive line. Like I said, a lot of people are underestimating our secondary, but our front seven is super strong. We got Minkah Fitzpatrick there. So I believe that it comes down to the coaching and the cultural change that, to me, that was one of the biggest weaknesses. The team was divided. This team seems to be very happy to be with one another. They seem to enjoy each other's company. They seem to be hanging out. So there's a lot of camaraderie. There's a lot of unity in this team. So I think the biggest weakness was the culture between them and the coaching at the end, the decisions, the play call decisions, the situational football that sometimes, like Sammy said, sometimes the easiest play is just to do that easy play. Like that's the number one thing. And now, obviously, when you're too creative and you're too smart, this was for you, Evan. This was for you, my man. I think McDaniel's growth and the cultural growth, it was the biggest weakness. And that's something that I think they've tried to fix, and then it's going to show on the field. Because at the end of the day, everything you do off the field, somehow, some way, has to show on the field.
There you go. I like it. Sammy.
Listen, that was a great answer by Alex. It pays me to go after him because one. Actually that was a great answer. But there's no way I can come up with a better answer than that, to be honest. But I'm gonna try. What makes me really, really worried is the depth behind the offensive line, because if any of you are as strong as your weakest link, and those links of the offensive line, get hurt a lot. So if anyone goes down the offensive line, you know what's next. Well, you don't even know what's next, because Leon Eichenberg would have been what's next, and he's not even there. So we don't even know about that. So I was thinking about the other day. There's no way Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes will be the players they are behind that offensive line. I'm not making excuses for somehow Steve Malloy is in my head saying, that's no excuse. I know, Steve, you're not here, but you're in my mind. I know you would have said that's no excuse.
Always with us, Steve. Always with us.
Love you, Steve. Well, granted. But still, for me, there's no way that Tom Brady would have been the player he was playing that behind that offensive line. There's no freaking way. So you're as strong as your weakest link. That offensive line, the health of the defensive line, you can go by either player, and they're not necessarily the healthiest. Even the center who didn't have health problems last year got hurt during training camp at some point this season. So it is what it is. So the depth behind the offensive line is what really worries me, because as soon as either one of them goes down, two is in danger. So that's the answer for me.
I think I'm right.
I did my best, Bobby. I did my best because
you did great. You did great. I think both of your answers were great. And Alex, because Alex talking about, Evan says that he paid Alex, but Alex said the overall team MVP this year is going to be Mike McDaniel, and it comes up with
he needs to go back.
And the biggest weakness for Miami need to fix is Mike McDaniel. So Alex is sticking with that tune there. I think that's a great answer, because play calling is definitely something that needs to be fixed this year. We hope that McDaniel could do that, if not give up play calling. I think I'm sticking with Sammy. I'm on Sammy's boat here when I say I'm going to go with depth. Depth is Miami's greatest weakness, because again, our best depth piece on the offensive line is Eichenberg, which is pretty crazy to say, but Eichenberg's gone and he's not even there.
And Kendall Lamb.
Well, Lamb, that was a good signing. We brought Lamb back, so that's fair.
Yeah, but he's still not healthy enough to
He's not healthy to contribute just right away.
But right now, like if one of those guys go down, Austin Jackson's going to be back. But if he goes down in week one, think about what Miami's off. Look what happened to Miami's offense. What happened to Tua in the final game of preseason with the starting offensive unit minus Austin Jackson? He got hit 3 times against the Jaguars, and the only reason why I don't think he got hurt was because
there was backups.
That's what I'm saying.
Backups.
And I think they let up. I don't think they were doing the full hitting. I think that defense was letting up. So I was like, Mike, and Tua even was kind of like, "What are we doing?" So if that's the biggest weakness that Miami has right now, and again, there is no excuse. And I know Cap was saying that earlier, like, I doesn't want to let Miami off the hook, because this, if we say, oh, Miami's O-line sucks, this sucks, that's basically saying, it gives Greer an excuse to say, hey, let me have another season, I'll fix that. No, there is none. This is the bed you made. This is what we're living with. That's why, I'm okay with the secondary. We got Russell Douglas, but I'm okay with an inexperienced, no-name secondary. Let's see what these guys got. We're already at the end point here. Let them surprise us. If they do, great. If they don't, it's the bed you made. It's the same thing with the offensive line. It is what it is. He's had 3 legit years. Absolutely. There is no excuse. It's what, again, depth is a big issue. I know depth is an issue for every team, but there's a lot of teams, and that's when coaching comes into play. There's a lot of teams where you have a guy that comes out of nowhere, a star offensive player goes down or offensive lineman goes down, and that next guy steps up, and you're like, damn, who the hell was this guy, man? That GM is real smart. It's not the GM. It's the coaching staff who got that kid ready to go and step up and play. So Alex's point again, coaching. Can Miami coach a kid up or coach someone up that if they have to step in that offensive line, they're going to play their best football and next man up? Miami hasn't done that so far. So depth is the issue. Going on to, let's see, who will be the biggest surprise contributor for the Miami Dolphins?
Go, Alex, because I have to think a little bit about this.
Go ahead, Alex.
The biggest surprise contributor. I'm going to go with Malik
Julian Hill.
I'm going to go Malik because I know there's expectations of the offense to be more spread out. But I think Malik Washington is going to surprise a lot of people, not only with his on-field presence, but the amount of his involvement on the offense, because we can't deny his talent. The talent is there. The style is there. And he kind of plays exactly the same role to me that Tyreek could play. So if barring injury or barring injury or any trades, I think Malik Washington is going to be the pleasant surprise to contributing this year.
So I think obviously let me put me back because I think Alex touched at the same time.
Yeah, my bad.
That's all right, Alex. I'm cool with it. If you want to do that, that's fine. I want to say Ollie Gordon. I think Ollie could be a very good contributor and a surprise contributor for the Dolphins this year. And I think he will be because of the opportunities he's going to have. But this is I'm going to go with Malik Washington, and I'll follow up with after why I think he will be, because I think he's going to get a lot more reps than most people think, because he's going to be one of the most reliable offensive weapons that we're going to have. Consistent. That's what Evan could say mid-tier everything he wants about Devon Achane being mid, but that's his cross to bear and that BS thing he wants to carry on with. But Devon Achane's our most consistent, reliable weapon, and he was last year, and so was who the hell we just traded to Jonnu Smith, But I think Malik Washington's is gonna take that role as well. He's gonna be our most consistent, reliable offensive weapon. So I'm gonna roll with Malik Washington and Ollie Gordon a close second. Sammy, you've had time to think. Do you got an answer, brother?
And
Darren Waller.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah,
Rapping at the post-game party, he's gonna be in the MVP rapping, but not in the field. For if you ask me, so I have it backwards. So you have Malik Washington, like you said, is gonna take that role for the default pass catching tight end. So he's gonna be good for the Dolphins if you see that they're third wide receiver catching balls in the field. So, but Ollie Gordon has the best opportunity to be the impact player that the Dolphins need. Running the ball in the end zone, short yardage, he's going to have a lot of opportunities. So Ollie Gordon is a player for me.
I like it. Which player could be the biggest disappointment this season, Sam?
Disappointment. Jack Jones, just because he's a player that usually he's not the best position to be criticized because he was a late addition. He's at a small salary, but he's the kind of player that usually goes for the ball. So he's probably going to have a lot of interceptions, but he's going to be burned a lot of times. So he's the kind of player that every single game you said that play changed the game because he got burned or went for the interception, got toast. So that kind of disappointment really burns me, people. He's the Julian Hill this year. That's a team here. We picking up Julian Hill, but I'll have to have Jack Jones because I think he's gonna get his interceptions, but he's gonna get burned a lot of times this season.
Alex,
I was gonna go. I have between two, Westbrook and Jalen Wright, and I'm leaning towards Jalen Wright, just like Cam said. Once again, because the situation and the opportunity of Ollie Gordon. So it might not only be the player disappointing, it might be that the opportunity presented to the player behind you kind of overshadows you and he outperforms you. And also, Madison getting hurt opens the door for Ollie Gordon even more. And what we saw from Jalen Wright, and we expected, and we always questioned, why isn't Jalen Wright playing more? And like, we should play Jalen Wright more. Then you started seeing a few things when you have Ollie Gordon running the same routes that the schemes that Jalen Wright is in, and he's struggling. And I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't pick up this block. Maybe he doesn't see this read. So that to me is a de facto of why Jalen Wright will be the most disappointing player.
So I understand the Jalen Wright thing, but I'll just say I'm not going to put him there just because he has to be something to be a disappointment. And he's not going to have the opportunity to be a disappointment.
You have to be in the field to be a disappointment.
Yeah,
that's why I picked Jack Jones, because you have to be in the field.
Yeah, and that's why everybody's like, oh, he's RB2. I can't wait. It's like, first of all, let's give the kid a chance. Let him get an opportunity. Let's see what he can do. He hasn't had a chance, and he got hurt. So to me, he won't be the biggest disappointment because I'm not expecting anything much from him. And I'm high on Jalen Wright, but I'm not expecting anything from him. I think Ollie and Devon Achane will be our lead guys, and he'll be backing them up. And maybe when he gets an opportunity, maybe he does enough for us to be like, oh, good, we got a good RB3, RB2. I know the easy answer might be Darren Waller, right? I don't know how much you could expect from Darren Waller, but
I think you're surprising people.
I'm going with Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle is going to be our biggest disappointment. The last couple seasons, it's been head scratching for me because before a few years back, it was like, holy crap, we have a 1A, 1B. Jalen Waddle could be a starting number one somewhere in Miami. If you trade Tyreek, he'll be your starting one, and maybe he can be. Maybe once Tyreek is gone, Jalen Waddle finds it again and is whatever. But until that day comes, I don't see it. And I think he's been borderline disappointment. I think he's been disappointed. He was a disappointment last year and even probably the year before. Yes. So I hear a lot of people, you guys brought it up a couple times. Now that's what I was thinking about. It's like, I know a lot of people have been saying Jalen Waddle, man. He's going to be our leading guy. It's going to be Jalen Waddle. I don't know where everybody's seen that. I know what we've seen a few years back, but the last couple seasons, we've been seeing a guy who is not the same player he was a couple years back. So when I hear that, to me, I think of biggest disappointment this year could be, and I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle could be the biggest disappointment for Miami this year, and that's why I believe Malik Washington will be our biggest surprise contributor because of the drop-off we're going to see from Jalen Waddle this season. Let me make sure here. See what we got in the comments before we move on. G2, we are quarterback away. I think if you can get on the field, that's a disappointment.
That's true.
That's
partially true.
Well, when you're a third back, I don't want to be disappointed. Now, moving on. Let's get to – actually, I'm sorry. Alex, what's the Dolphins' final regular season record?
I'm gonna go 12-5.
12-5. There you go. We're done for tonight, guys. We're done for this morning. We'll see you.
Nothing has to be said. Just cancel the show. Let's go.
Leave on a high note. High note.
Let's put a Constanza.
I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people. And what I think we're gonna surprise a lot of people in is that our defense is going to win us a lot of games that we were supposed to lose per se. So it's going to be a balanced attack where the nights our offense is struggling, I believe we're going to have a consistent defense.
G2, I think that's G-Man, but 5-12. Evan says no comment. Raphael says 7-10.
I agree. The Giants are going 5-12. Probably 4-13. Yes. The Giants, yes, 5-12.
What do you have for the Dolphins, Sammy?
well, being all over the place, but not in the good side. I was at 9-8. Then I was at 8-9. Right now I'm on 7-10. Just
7
because,
Okay.
yes, low expectations. Let's keep the low expectations low. Just because of the fact that I always say on Fins TV that there's so many ifs, it's hard to have a good team. And there are way too many ifs in this team. If Tua stays healthy, if Asians come back from injury, if the offensive line finds a way to work, if the defense is solid, if the secondary works, way too many ifs every single week. And then you have to go by the health, and the health is usually not the best with this team. So that's why I have low expectations at 7-10. They might surprise you. They might be 10-7 and find a way to sneak in the playoffs. I would love that. I'll be rooting for them every single week. That's one of the things I hate the most, that people sometimes, just to be right, crap against this team just to say, I told you so. I told you so. I told you McDaniel suck. I told you Chris Greer sucks. I told you this team will be horrible. I just because my expectation is 7-10 doesn't mean I'm not gonna be rooting for them every single week. So I expect them to have a kind of so-so season. We'll see what happens to McDaniel at the end of the year. He might not come back from Spain if the record is horrible. Chris Weir, I expect him to stay as general manager, or maybe retire to go to like Seinfeld, that guy that keep firing, and they keep promoting. Chris might get promoted to vice president of operations or something, and to pull a Constanza, and I get a better job with the Dolphins and not be the GM. But for me, I don't expect too many changes to come after the season. But again, I digress. I expect them to have a 7-10 record, and hopefully I'm wrong on that.
So my predictions haven't changed, and I think, Sammy, everything you said in regards of too many ifs. Well, if healthy, depth, the secondary, the offensive line, does Tyreek get traded? Does Tua stay healthy? Does McDaniel, does he grow? How's the play calling? Too many ifs. So there's a lot on this team where, you look at on paper and you're like, damn, looks pretty good. There's some good, you look on paper and that front unit and you're like, damn, all right, this could be something.
That team starting healthy all season. You say, wow, that team was healthy all season.
100%.
We had to win the games, but that's the problem.
And that's the problem, because then you go to the back and you look at the depth and you're like, ooh, what happens if this guy goes down? What happens if Tua goes down? It's Zach Wilson, less Quinn Ewers. Zach Wilson, how are we feeling about that? You look at the tight end room. We don't know what we have there. We don't know what Darren Waller is. We don't know, like you bring up Julian Hill. We don't know what those guys can do. Does Jalen Waller end up being the biggest disappointment? Does Tyreek get traded? That offensive line, any one of those guys go down, how much does that impact our offense? Defense, we know how we feel about that front seven. I have no doubt. The depth is great there. Secondary, we're concerned with. There's too many ifs. So now, my starting prediction before the preseason, and that when the record got released, it's the same prediction I have right now, and that's 9-8. I'm sticking with 9-8 for Miami. And again, it could go below 9-8. I think, like, if I could go, oh, Bobby, what if everything was right? They're all healthy and whatever the hell, everything, and everything works out. I think 10, 11 wins is fair. I think for sure they could win an extra game or two, but 9-8 is where I'm at with this football team. Again, they could surprise us, and they would surprise us 10, 11 wins, but I'm at 9-8. Let's roll with this. Alex, we're going to go now with the NFL. Okay. And so let's start with the divisions. Okay. I'm going to say the division, AFC East, AFC North, whatever you give your winners there. And then we'll go with Sammy and roll there. Okay. AFC East, we'll keep it short and sweet there.
Oh, I think Buffalo wins the division, and Miami's a wild card.
Okay. All right. So the Buffalo wins the AFC East.
Correct.
I'm with you on that. I think Buffalo is the winner in the AFC East. Sammy, how you feeling about the AFC East this year?
It will be hard for anyone to pick against the Bills, just because they find a way to, as long as Josh Allen stays healthy and he takes a lot of hits, he gives that fan base so many scares. They say, oh, he finally got hurt, and he finds a way to come back and to play. And he's an Iron Man because he takes a lot of hits. He runs the ball a lot. Someday might catch up to him, like catch up to Cam Newton, because Cam Newton used to be the same kind of player. He ran a lot, and by year 8, 9, 10, he wasn't the same player. So we'll see. Morning, but we'll see what happens. But it's hard to pick against the Bills. They're not the best version of themselves compared to the recent years. I think they're overhyped in so many ways, but that schedule is favorable for them. I think have a very good schedule that makes them gives them the opportunity to win a lot of games, probably the best record in the AFC. So that's why I'm picking the Bills. I had the Jets last, and I don't think I might get burned on this, but I don't think the Patriots are as good as the media are pretending to be. So I expect them to find a way for second place with the Dolphins. The Dolphins have a good year. They might find a way to be second, but the Patriots should be second if you go by the media, but I'm not so sure about that.
How do you see the AFC North playing out? Who wins that division?
Well, the Ravens have to win the division. The Ravens have been the best team for the division for a long while. I don't think the Steelers are gonna be as good. They're all in for sure. They find a way to. They might sign Peppers, the safety that was released for the Patriots, and the secondary might be a lot better with Ramsey and Peppers if they add him. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. I'm not high on Aaron Rodgers. Could you imagine Skylar Thompson being the quarterback for the Steelers? That might be something. But the Steelers, I don't expect them to be as good as everybody's saying they're going to be. And, of course, the Bengals, Joe Burrow, man, that guy takes a lot of pounding behind the offensive line that is not good. He's so good as a quarterback. I still think that Joe Burrow, as good as he is, he's still underrated. That's mind-boggling to me because that guy takes a lot of hits and still doesn't get the respect he deserves, but I still expect the Ravens to win the division. Don't even mind the Browns. I don't think the Browns are going anywhere.
There's no chance in hell with the Browns. No, but I'm with you. I think the Baltimore Ravens win the North this year. I know some people are, I saw a lot of Cincinnati. Talk, but I just don't feel it. I think they're going to fall off this year. I think they take a big step back, and they might have to see like a change in the front and the coaching staff. But I don't have a feeling about Cincinnati. But I think Baltimore is an easy thing, and I have no faith in Pittsburgh whatsoever. Overhyped, no bite. I'm not rolling with Pittsburgh. Alex, where do you see the North going?
Well, I'm going to concur. Obviously, Baltimore is the class there. Cincinnati, like you mentioned, a lot of people talk about offensive line problems. Cincinnati has huge offensive line problems. Yes, and Burrow, you just talk about Allen taking a lot of hits. Burrow is taking a ton of hits, and not even because he's a scrambler or anything. So that's going to affect. And I do think obviously Cleveland is obviously 4 or 5 win team at most right now. If Deshaun Watson was there, it'll be a different situation. But I think Pittsburgh might be in the mix with Cincinnati battling, just because of the fact that not on talent of Rodgers, just his expertise, his the way he can maneuver and carry an offense or manage an offense, because he does have a lot of weapons. And Pittsburgh's a very solid team. They have a good running game. They have a great defensive scheme, and obviously Mike Tomlin. So I'm never going to count them out. So I think they'll be in the running there for the wild card position with Cincinnati if Burrow can hold up. But for sure, Baltimore should run away with this division.
All right, AFC South, Alex.
Oof. I don't have the Texans as a shoo-in. I think Jacksonville might give them a scare, realistically. I think Jacksonville. Tennessee's going to be obviously middle tier. Obviously, they're rebuilding per se. I believe in Cam Ward, and I have Cam Ward close to being my rookie of the year with Genti. But I think Jacksonville might put it all together. And actually, I think Houston regresses a little bit in that regards. So I'm going to say Jacksonville.
Okay, there you go. I am rolling with the Texans. I think the Texans and I don't think the Titans are there yet. Even though Cam Ward. I believe in him, and I think he's going to help. And Jacksonville, I think are going to fall off. I just Duval don't believe in that. But Sammy, AFC South, brother.
Yeah, you just nailed the head, because you just said exactly what I was going to say. The Texans might regress a little bit this year. I don't expect them to be as good as recent years. The Jaguars, talent-wise, have a lot of talent. The talent should be good enough for them to fight for the division, but that head coach, dude, that head coach doesn't. If Mike McDaniel is soft, that guy is. I don't know.
Charmin's soft.
Oh, Charmin,
He's baby shit.
Charmin, wet Charmin soft because I might have to eat my words on that one. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. But that the head coach doesn't bring the confidence in me. But Jaguars have a lot of talent, but I don't see it. And the Colts, every single year, there's something missing with the Colts. Right now is a problem with the quarterback. That Richardson is not going to be the problem with the quarterback they expect them to be. We were talking about Fins TV Plus on Thursday about the Colts, but I don't know. It's hard for me to pick against the Texans because even if they regress a little bit, they're still the best team in the division.
There you go. Now, AFC West. For me, I don't think there's any other team to pick but the Chiefs. I think it could be. I think it's going to be fun. I think you can't sleep on the Broncos or the Chargers. The Raiders, I think, have a little bit more time. I don't think they're in that conversation whatsoever. But I think it's going to be a fun, competitive division. But obviously, I'm going to roll with the Chiefs on this, Alex.
Oh, for sure, the Chiefs. And I got the Broncos as one of my wildcard teams. But hands down, if there's no injuries, the Chiefs are in a class of their own, in my opinion, in that division.
This division could be the surprise of the NFL. I think this division is going to be a lot better than people expect it to be.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I pick against the Chiefs like 3 years ago. I've learned my lesson. I'm not gonna pick. I'm not
gonna
pick against the Chiefs.
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna pick against the Chiefs. No, the Chiefs until they're not the champions anymore. So I had to go with the Chiefs. The Broncos are gonna be better. The Chargers we'll see what Herbie does, and the Raiders are gonna be a lot better than people expect, in my opinion. But I had to go with the Chiefs. Don't ever underestimate the heart of the champion, like Rudy Jones used to say. So until they're not the champions anymore, I had to go with the Chiefs.
There you go. And Crazy Dolphin, everyone, please hit the like button and bring up those likes. Yes, Crazy, appreciate you, brother. Same thing from Lou earlier. Appreciate everyone who's watching right now. You guys are watching East 10th Street Boys Sunday morning edition on FTSN with Fins Sammy of Fins TV and Alex and myself. Appreciate you all tuning in. We're doing Dolphin season predictions and around the league. And we're currently going around the league now and giving our NFL season predictions. And with that, we're going to move on to the NFC. And we'll stick with Sammy. NFC East. Yeah, I have the Eagles. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, you're basically not wrong, but the Redskins, the Commanders, the commies are gonna get you. The Commanders gonna be better for sure, but I still have to go do it. They lost some talent, but again, they're still the champion. They find a way to. They're the most cohesive unit in the division. The Cowboys. We want to talk about the Cowboys after this week, because man, that was rough for the Cowboys. Chris Greer should be the executive of the year, but not a chance to trade if you compare it with the Mika Parsons trade, because boy, oh boy, did the Cowboys fumble that trade. But I expect them the Eagles to win the division, but the Commanders should be a lot better than my father, the Eagles for the division title for sure. And the Giants 3-14.
Oh damn! Okay,
Well, Cowboys with Dak coming back, I think going to be interesting. But you mentioned a point there: is how much can Jaden Daniels grow? Even obviously, because there's always that sophomore that scare of a sophomore slump, which I don't see. And I think with Dan Quinn as their head coach, I can see the Commanders pushing the Eagles. If there's any injuries in the Eagles, or if there's any minimal regression with Saquon and that offense, I can see the Commanders even on a tiebreaker taking the division. So I'm going to go on a limb here, and I'm going to say the Commanders take that division this year.
Wow, nice.
Oh, I like it, Alex. I'll be boring. I'm just going to say the Eagles. I won't even. I'll just say the Eagles. I'm rolling with the Eagles.
You're good. You're good.
I'm good. I think Commanders is a great answer, and I'm with you guys. They're one of my wild cards, but I'm going to go with the Eagles. NFC North, Alex. What happens there?
Okay, this one. This is intriguing. I think this might be the most competitive division this year in football. And obviously, it all hinges on Caleb Williams and J.J. McCarthy. But I still think at the end, I think Green Bay overtakes Detroit. And Detroit is a stand-up, but I think Green Bay takes over that division this year, with Detroit being one of my wildcard teams. I think there might be two wildcard teams coming from that division there at times. So, but I'm gonna go Green Bay takes the division this year.
Sammy.
I still have Detroit. Even that trade was so huge for the Packers. I still have Detroit. I have more confidence in what Detroit is doing. I don't know. Come at me at Fins Sammy on X, but I'm not a huge believer on Jordan Love. I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he should be the highest paid quarterback in the league. I don't think he's as good as Burrow or Mahomes or any of those guys. So I still think that the cohesive unit that the Lions have working for them.
Is he better than Tua?
Jordan Love?
I'm just being an ass.
No, but I want to answer that.
Just put you on the spot.
Yeah, if you put me on the spot, but I want to answer that. As of right now, I don't think he's a good quarterback Tua, because Tua is more. There's things that Tua cannot do that Jordan Love can do, but there's things Jordan Love can do from the processing standpoint and the methodical things that Tua can do. I don't know. I'm not saying that if Tua was in Green Bay, he will be better quarterback than he's here, but I'm for sure saying that if Jordan Love was here, probably he would be the same place that he's right now in Green Bay. So it's a complicated question. So
I love it. No.
So
there you go.
Answer,
Hi, Steve Malloy. Hi, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
Morning.
Good morning. Rolling with let's see, making sure here. What's Evan say? The fan weekend against the Chargers. Will there be more Tua jerseys or Herbert jerseys or Herbert fans? I guess
that's the game that all of you who said you wanted Justin Herbert instead of Tua, go to that game.
Yeah.
I expect them to be filled with Dolphins fans for that game. You can cheer Herbert if you want.
I'm gonna go with the Packers. I think the Packers, but I'm not saying the Packers meaning. I'm not going to say the Packers meaning like, the lines are going to completely fall off and the Packers are going to be, this is going to be like, just one win above. And then, I think the Packers will win the North. And I'm with Alex. I think this is going to be, next to the AFC West, NFC North is going to be the most competitive division.
Yeah, for sure in the NFC, yes.
Yeah, it's going to be, my goodness. And you got to think about those, and not wild card teams, but wild cards is Chicago and Minnesota with their quarterback situation. How does JJ McCarthy look? How does Caleb Willard look in his second year? McCarthy in his first year, really, even though he's going into his second year, he hasn't played. So how do these two teams look? How do they respond? Because any of these teams could sneak up into the wild card if everything goes right. But for the North, I'm going to roll with the Packers. NFC South, I got the Buccaneers. Sammy, how do you see South playing out?
It's hard to go against the Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers are doing a great job the recent years that exceeded expectations, and Baker Mayfield for sure has exceeded the expectations with the Bucs. It's hard to pick against the Bucs. So the Bucs for sure, the division. Look at the division. The Falcons were rising, but somehow they got stuck. I don't expect I had much better expectation for the Falcons last season that compared to this season. Probably because I had more confidence in what Kirk Cousins could bring last year. That way. They can do a quarterback this year. So, but I still expect the Buccaneers to win the division.
Alex,
the Falcons are close, but I think the Buccaneers take it. And a lot of these divisions, not a lot of them, but I think two of them, I might come down to tie-breaking situations. And I'm not saying the Bucs are going to win 10+ games. This division might be like a 9-8 division where you're 9-8 and you win the division with that record. But I think the Falcons are going to come close. They're going to be competitive. They might be ahead mid-season, but I think at the end the Bucs take the division in the last week or so. But it is going to be competitive between them two because the Falcons do have with Penix Jr. and Bijan Robinson, and even a lot of people are not talking about Kyle Pitts. He might have a resurgence here, and Drake London. They have a nice, powerful offense, and they seem to be distributing the ball a little bit more this year. So we'll see.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think this could be I don't want to say the weakest, but could be the weakest division. They're always 9-8 wins, but they're somehow, some way they find their ways in the playoffs. It happens every year with the Saints, etc. I think the Falcons have a young nucleus where they could go either direction, but we'll see. NFC West, excuse me, guys. NFC West. This is an interesting one. Because look at the Rams, the health of Matt Stafford. Cooper Kupp is gone. Does Devontae Adams? Can he fill that role? Puka Nacua. But I'm going to roll with the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to win the division this year. Alex, how do you see that playing out?
Oh, well, I agree with you. I think the Seahawks, even with Sam Darnold coming in, I think they have the best equipped defensive unit for that division. I know San Francisco with McCaffrey coming back also could be in the mix, but I think it's going to be Seahawks and San Francisco all the way to the end. Arizona's going to, like I'm telling you, this is also going to be a competitive division. And now with the Rams, it all rests on how healthy Matthew Stafford is, because there's a lot of questions from Matthew Stafford coming into the season where it seems to be that he's a hit away from missing the season. So those are the things that could throw away your whole process, because you got Devontae Adams, you got Nakua, but I think Seattle's in that next tier coming up, and San Francisco's kind of digressing a little bit. Which that doesn't mean, obviously, we do all these predictions, and then San Francisco was undefeated for the first 8-9 games, and then we look like idiots. But I think Seattle might take it. Yeah.
All things equal, I'm going with the Rams. I think the Rams probably, like you said, Stafford is one hit away, but every quarterback is one hit away. If it's the wrong hit, every quarterback is one hit away. So I'm going to go with the Rams. I think the Rams are quality building for that to try to be a Super Bowl contender. I think they're doing a good job, so I'm going to go with the Rams.
There you go. All right. Sammy, I'll stick with you. Who are your 3 wild card teams for the AFC?
The Commanders, the Commies, for sure. I picked the Lions, so I'm gonna have to go with the Packers. And I'm not sure if the Vikings or the Bears can do. They have 3 teams in the on the wild card, so I'm gonna go. Let me run a bit here. I'm gonna go with. Why not? I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
All right, there you go. So that's your NFC. Alex, who are your NFC wildcard teams? Top 3.
My NFC 49ers, because I think Seattle's going to take, obviously, the division. I got the Lions, and I got the Eagles.
All right. For me, I got the Lions, Rams, and Commanders as my wildcard teams in the NFC. AFC, I have the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Dolphins as my 3 wildcard teams for this season.
Wow.
So Chargers, Broncos, and Dolphins. Dolphins at 9-8. Alex, AFC wildcard teams.
Definitely Miami. Definitely Denver. And I'm between the Chargers and that 3rd team in the AFC North, because I if it gets competitive, I think it could be Cincinnati and Pittsburgh. So one of those. I'm gonna say Pittsburgh, Miami, Pittsburgh, and the Broncos.
There you go, Sammy.
Broncos, Bengals, and Chargers.
There you go. Short, sweet, and to the point. All right. Who's your AFC champion? Who represents the AFC this year, Sammy?
Oh.
Right.
Oh man, I just don't want to say it, but that if now or never for the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Their schedule is favorable. But I don't know. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I'm not going to give it to the Bills. I'm going to go with the Ravens. Screw the Bills. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
I like that. I was about to say, don't worry. I'm with you on that. I think it's Buffalo. Alex, AFC champion.
Your Miami Dolphins. No, I'm going to go.
So Alex is out. And so, no, I'm just playing.
Alex,
I'm sorry.
I'm going to go. I think it's still the Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to consider the Taylor Swift effect with the Chiefs,
Always. And
hey.
I think Kelsey retires after this year.
He's right to do the subset with the girl.
That's it. Thanks. That's it. He's set, man. He's set for life.
He's so humble. He's
Look at Russ. Bills, Jets, Pats, Dolphins. Resident Jets fan
Russ,
on the
man.
network.
Russ, come on, man.
Man, come home from church and that's what you do. That blasphemy. Go back. Go to confession. Man. Come back, talk about the Jets. Get out of here. Anyway,
let me get 42 Padre Nuestros.
Again, I'm rolling with Buffalo. I think what Sammy was saying before he went with Baltimore, which I understand. Baltimore is in that conversation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think Buffalo, again, they have to break that wall. I think they're the team to beat. And I think they do. I think they represent the AFC this year in the Super Bowl right now. I want to say the Dolphins. I think we all want the Dolphins, but gonna try to be realistic here with what we know. NFC, Alex, who represents the NFC?
Oof, man. Jesus Christ.
He doesn't play football. We need a team.
I'm gonna. I don't think Commanders are there yet. But my surprise pick, I think the Packers make it out of the NFC this year.
Interesting. Sammy?
I'm gonna go with the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think that they fall away short a couple of years ago. They fall away short last season, but I think that that's the kind of a team that learn from the mistakes. They're probably not as good as last season, but I think they're still building and they have the momentum. So I'm gonna go with the Lions.
So, Sammy, if you never would have went Ravens with that big Buffalo tease, you and I would be right on the money. I got Buffalo and Detroit. Detroit's my wild card team. I had the Packers as the winning of the NFC North, but I have Detroit coming out of the wild card and representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. So I got Buffalo and the Lions. Who wins the Super Bowl if it's the Lions and the Ravens?
I think the Ravens win it. I think Lamar Jackson has to win it. I think we talk so much about Josh Allen, so many quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson needs to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, MVP, but at the end of the day, you're judged by the Super Bowls we win. We know that very well in South Florida. So Lamar Jackson has to win the Super Bowl. So I expect the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this season.
Alex, if it's the Packers and who is your AFC team?
Chiefs.
Who is it? Who's winning?
Chiefs. I think
There you
Chiefs.
go. Boring, but no, I think that's fair. It's still boring.
Again, Travis Kelce rises into the sunset with Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl championship.
So
nice story.
Not beautiful. Story.
That's right. Imagine Taylor Swift standing on the thing with the trophy and with the red.
And Taylor Swift performing at the Super Bowl.
At the halftime show.
Oh.
Whoa! Oh, Alex, horrible.
Wow.
Horrible. So I got Buffalo and Detroit in the Super Bowl, and what you said about Baltimore.
Actually,
Does Buffalo
can you
actually
imagine
win
that
it?
Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Those teams just never won a Super Bowl. That
Never.
would be huge.
it would be huge. And everything you said about Baltimore could say the same for Buffalo.
Absolutely.
They've been up there the whole time. Josh Allen, has to win and all this noise. So that's why my answer is Detroit. I'm rolling with the Detroit Lions. I think if it's the Detroit versus Buffalo, I think Detroit makes history and wins their first Super Bowl. If that is for sure the Super Bowl matchup, I'll roll with Detroit because I'm never picking Buffalo. Detroit will win that.
Ever.
Buffalo will
Ever.
choke on a giant D.
Whoa.
Detroit, suck on the
defense.
Defense. That's right. That's
Detroit
right, Alex.
Defense, two Ds.
Too early.
Not one D, two Ds. Two Ds.
All right. So, Sammy, who's your league MVP, man?
League MVP. Again, Jackson has to be the MVP just because the media love him so much. I don't think any other way. Either Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson is a toss-up every single year because the media love them both. But I'm going to go with
I got Lamar Jackson.
Don't be surprised Jordan Love ends up being the MVP or someone like that because the media had their darlings, but I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson.
Alex?
I think it's going to be close with Mahomes, but I think it's going to be, to me, it's going to be a 3-quarterback race. Allen, Mahomes, and Jackson. And I think Jackson overall, he has to perform to the best of his ability for his team to reach. And he said there's pressure there. So I think Jackson is the MVP. Oh, World Baseball Classic. All right. I'll try to be there.
That means he won't. Sorry, I had something.
This asshole, man.
Alex always says that. I'll try to see you, bro. I'll try to see
poor
you.
guy.
Unless your name is Bobby, he ain't gonna see you. Just like anyway. No, I got Lamar Jackson as well, man. I got Lamar Jackson.
Sweep.
Alex, who is your offensive player of the year?
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Bijan Robinson. I think he's gonna be the jack of all trades. I think he is definitely in that offense. I know we talk about a chain, but Bijan Robinson is that offense to me. I know people are gonna talk about Jamar Chase, Jefferson, Saquon Barkley. But I think Bijan is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I think he's the all around,
I like
probably the
that.
best running back.
I like that answer. Sammy?
A running back usually takes the center forward. With a bad team drafts him, and it's a good running back, you can probably bet that he's going to be the MVP. So that's a great pick. He's right about that.
I'm going with Ali. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going Saquon Barkley. I'm going Saquon Barkley, man. Saquon should have won MVP last year, and I'd love if he won it this year. And I think he's still going to. I don't think he takes a step back. I think he's still going to be the face of the league, at least in regards of running back, because he was in last year. I mean, I got the new Madden, and I just love watching when he does the turnaround, hop over the defense. I love watching that play. But no, I think he should have won MVP last year, and I think he'll be Offensive Player of the Year this season. Russ says he's either going to be in Miami or in San Juan. So either you could see Alex, don't count on it,
Russ,
or go to San Juan and see Sammy. Sammy will actually go out of his way and see you. Sammy will be there. He saw Evan and said,
"This asshole, man, unbelievable."
Alex, that video you sent me, I have to ask you. The video you sent me
Which
two.
one?
There's one with a boat. The guy's talking on a boat, do like a promo, and then you sent me another one. And I was wondering, the one you sent
Which one?
You texted me yesterday.
I sent you the wrong link.
I saw the Bigfoot visit Hialeah, and that was hilarious.
That was the one.
What was up with the charter, Miami charter?
Oh, that was a mistake. That was his feed after him. It's this Miami charter guy that all he does is talk about what he goes on the boat and he charters the boat and he prepares.
We're looking at that. I thought that was you on the boat waving. I'm like,
no,
what's he
bro.
doing?
Oh, man.
I was like, that doesn't look like Alex, bro. Oh, it's so funny. But the Bigfoot.
It was Bigfoot Hialeah, which is hilarious.
I figured. I had to ask. Defensive Player of the Year, Sammy. Who is that?
Minka Parsons, just because the media loves him so much. So I think it's going to make an impact, and the media is going to it's just going to give us a Minka Parsons has to be the one.
Micah Parsons, I'm with you. Alex, is that the same for you?
Yes. Don't even ask me. That's fine.
All right, we'll stick with you, Alex. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh man, he's actually my first round pick this year, Ashton Genty. I think the load that he's going to have. Like I told you, I was close with Cam Ward. I think Cam Ward is going to be finished second, a strong second. Because to me, he's NFL ready, and Calvin Ridley is gonna explode with Cam Ward. But I think that offense is perfectly stacked for Genty and with the Raiders.
Yes, man. I got this Ricky Williams jersey on eBay. I was like, I gotta get it.
I'm
excited. I wore my Ricky jersey. Love Ricky, man. Love Ricky. Do you know that they have on YouTube every game from the 2002 season with Jay Fiedler and Ricky Williams?
Yeah.
Every game from
God,
week one that I was like, I'm gonna actually sit there and watch it.
Good times.
Yeah. So, Offensive Rookie of the Year, I'm with you, Alex. I think Ashton Genty, is my pick. I think Cam Ward, obviously, I think he's the most disrespected so far. Number one pick. I know not people giving a lot of love. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going with Ashton Genty. Sammy, who's your offensive rookie of the year?
Ty Warren, just because the Colts don't seem to have a lot of players, so I think it's gonna make the biggest impact. So that's why.
I love it, dude. That's a good answer, man. Defensive rookie of the year.
Travis Hunter, just because if we find a way to play it so enough snaps, the media is gonna eat it and gonna be probably for him. So I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter.
So I'm gonna say it over there. I think Abdul Carter has a good opportunity to do it, but I'm with you. It's Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter is a great answer just because what he's like you said, media darling, right? They're gonna love on him. He's gonna be defensive rookie of the year. But I think he might even be up for a rookie in general. I mean, we'll see what they do on offense with him. But I'm gonna roll with Ashton Genty and then Travis Hunter is my defensive rookie of the year. Alex, defensive rookie of the year for you is
Malachi Starks.
I like that. There you go.
Steps into a perfect position and a perfect system for him. So I think he's out of all the rookies defensively, because like you mentioned, Abdul Carter and Hunter, depending on what they do.
You may curb your enthusiasm.
I mean, he has an opportunity there, but
No, he doesn't. No, because he's wearing a Jets jersey, he's gonna break
He
every
sucks.
ankle bone. No, I'm so sorry. As soon as he steps on that field, oh yeah.
oh no.
No, just playing. No, I don't wish no injuries. Hope he sucks though in a Jets uniform though. Just for you, Russ.
It is what it is.
Diarrhea green Jets jersey, nasty ass jersey. Coach of the year. I'm rolling with Dan Campbell. I'm going with Dan Campbell, coach of the year. Alex.
Hmm.
Don't
Based
say
on
it.
my, I'm gonna say it. I'm
No,
gonna
don't say it. Don't do it.
my end season MVP prediction, my changes, my 12-5 record. I believe Mike McDaniel will be the coach of the year. Had to be done. Had to be done. There you go,
Campbell.
Russ. Russ is with me.
Dan Campbell. I had the Lions in the Super Bowl. Dan Campbell. Just like that. I don't. I'm lost for words.
You want my GM of the year, Bobby?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Out all day, bro. Out
Bro,
all
you might
day.
get death threats. Don't do that.
Oh my god, dude. Oh man.
Good job. Good job.
Lord
Oh,
almighty.
boy, oh, boy.
All right.
We're missing comeback player.
What?
Comeback
We
player
got-
of the year.
Oh, comeback player. Of
Yeah,
the
not
year.
come
I
on the
thought-
back. No, man. Not the, which is a
I
great
didn't say
outtake. It's a great outtake.
This show is rated PG-13.
Too early, Alex. Damn.
Sorry. Morning session. My bad.
Innuendos, not the full thing.
My bad. It was just a thing about Parks and Recreation when he did
I
the
know, I
comeback
remember.
story. That the part
Yeah,
of
He was, what's the best comeback story? And they're all
Kim
like,
Kardashian?
"Oh, was it the horse? This?" And he goes, and
Seabiscuit.
was it Chris Pratt goes, "Yeah, Seabiscuit," and he goes, "Kim Kardashian." They're like,
Kim
I
Kardashian.
don't know
What?
if that like," and he goes, "It's like, oh no, that's a great scene." But Alex, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, comeback player of the year.
Aiden Hutchinson, and that goes for your lines there, Sammy. He got hurt early, and I think how he's going to come back with a vengeance.
That's Alex, apparently.
All members of the network to visit Canada. Okay, thank you,
So who was it? You said Aiden Hutchinson.
Aiden Hutchinson. Yes.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Hutchinson is my comeback player of the year. Sammy,
Jordan Poyer. No, not really.
Darren Waller.
Hey, that would be a great.
Yes. That Prescott just because he's gonna carry so much of that team this season, so I'm gonna go with that.
Oh,
Prescott.
that's a good answer. Dak Prescott. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah, for sure. Man, the Cowboys, I mean,
Did you watch that Netflix?
I'm gonna start actually put it
I'm
on
in the
my
5th
to watch
episode. It's
list.
amazing.
I'm gonna age myself, but I've seen so much of that stuff on VHS. I'm gonna age myself. VHS. So it's been that long since the Cowboys won a Super Bowl and we're good like that. But it's a great story. It's awesome with documentary. So you should watch it.
It is. It's
awesome. Just awesome.
I want to
So
watch
done.
it. You don't have to
It's
be a
so well
Cowboys fan to want to
Yeah.
watch that.
No.
It's
No, you don't.
No, and Jerry Jones is the father of the modern NFL. Jerry Jones was the model for how franchises make
just like
money
Al Davis,
on value.
yes, and just like Al Davis changed the NFL.
Yes,
Jerry Jones
yes.
is the same. You might not like him.
100%.
He might be a stubborn son of a bitch, but it is what it is. For sure.
Hey, he won 2 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls.
Three
Super
Three
Bowls. Remember,
Yeah,
Barry
because
Thanks to
two
Sanders
Jimmy,
came in
thanks to
and
Jimmy
won.
Johnson, but he did.
Yeah, but I know it's like, that's why, like, people are like, "Oh, Jerry Jones is like, hey, dude, at least they won in their lifetime." You know what I mean? Like, we don't have that. But it is
Yes,
what it is.
Absolutely.
So there you go. I was going to ask you guys, kind of, because it's East Central Boys and we're getting on the 2-hour mark, but it's cool. But I just asked, Sammy, but you're watching. Is that what you're watching? Is there anything else you're watching right now that got you hooked? I know the Dallas Cowboys doc on Netflix.
No, I honestly, I love it so much. I think it's great. I was expecting and waiting for that to be, and it exceeded my expectation. The Cowboys were a mess after they were so good. It's so much drama. It's such a real story. So I recommend everybody to watch. If you love football, then you don't have to be a fan of the Cowboys to watch, because that should not be the reason why you don't watch it. And like I said, seeing Turk Aikman basically had to retire because of concussions. Maybe some thought about the Tua current situation right now. The NFL was so different. For like eight to 10 concussions in 2.5 years, something like that for Drake Amen. The NFL basically has changed so much because of that. Steve Young the same, so many concussions, and it gives you a different perspective for what the game is now compared to what it used to be. So it's an awesome watch.
Alex Bronx Tale, man, how was it?
Not yet,
You
man.
son of a.
Told you. I'm watching America's Team. I'm going to the 5th episode tonight. And I'm just glued in because I love.
Okay.
And as you get older, you love docuseries. That to me, like, I don't even watch movies anymore that much. I love documentaries and especially based on real life events. And I always like to hear the backstories of things that happened 10 or 20 years before, because there's always that time that has to elapse before people actually go into detail of what really happened. So I'm even envisioning things that go on now that we're seeing currently. 10 years from now, we're going to know the real stories behind a lot of these decisions. So I just love that type of series. And like you said, you don't have to love football. You don't even have to love sports. It's a great story of how you rebuild and the gamble. That's why it's called The Gambler and His Cowboys. How the master of gamble, and he just gambled on himself and on his belief. And I was even surprised. I didn't even know at this time they almost bought the Chargers. He wasn't close to buy the Chargers before he bought the Cowboys. Spoiler alert. So it's a great story of not only as a man, as an individual, but also as you see him age now, and kind of people think that the game has passed him by. How thanks to him, and like you said, thanks to Al Davis, you have the NFL module right now where teams are making billions of dollars and franchises are worth so much money and entertainment. So it's a great watch.
So I'm going to watch it. I am interested in watching it. I think it started, but I had to pause it, was when he talking about the oil rig, buying the oil rig.
Yes,
and
yeah.
gambling on that.
Yeah.
And then, So, but I'm going to watch it because, love or hate him.
You're going to love it, bro. You're going to love it, man.
I know.
I promise you.
I agree with Sammy. You don't have to be a Cowboys fan to appreciate what you're watching. For me, again, I think there's three seasons on Netflix, 2 seasons on HBO. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm watching them on YouTube. The follow up, it's a Canadian show. It's called Rust Valley Restores, and I absolutely love that show. And
cars?
Yeah, it's about it's based in Canada, but it's like, so, dude, like, how you watch shows, Pawn Stars or Counting Cars or whatever. They're great. I love Counting Cars and those guys in Vegas, but like some of the issues, you could tell they're fabricated. Like, oh, they made this custom angle
or exaggerated. Yes.
Rust Valley Restores. It's like, his best friend is Avery. It's Mike. He bought the shop. He makes money off being in construction, millions of dollars. So he bought a car shop, and he what happened? You're no longer allowed to watch it. Shut up, Evan. Evan, did you watch? I told Evan to watch it. I think I did. But anyway, they're based in Canada, in Alberta, I think. And anyway, his best friend is Avery, and it's like, it's so real, because it's like, just because we're, usually when you're best friends, you're like brothers. You're not, oh, we're happy duty. No, you're like, dude, shut the and grab, and they're like, and like they fix the car, and the car's beautiful. Listen, they fix the car and it's beautiful. Like this nasty ass rusty car that, like that's his whole acres of land that he purchased of a bunch of cars, and he turns it into this beautiful car. But then they're like, all right, let's go. They're going in the test drive, and all of a sudden you hear, and you see smoke, and like what did you do? They burnt the line. It's a great show. I recommend anybody, if you want to kill time but also enjoy it, put Rust Valley Restores. And then the other one I've watched it in 2 days. It's only 3 episodes, but it's on HBO. The Mortician. It's a documentary, a 3-episode documentary called The Mortician, and it's about this guy who took over his family business, the funeral home, and he started doing, like, you can only, started doing cremations, and he was in charge of the cremations, and usually you can only do like 2 bodies a day, because it's an 2 hours or 4 bodies, because it's an 8-hour day. But he was doing, like, they kept seeing the smoke come up, and what he was doing was they found out he's stacking the bodies in there and just cremating them all, and then saying, oh yeah, here's your family member. It's such a horrible thing, man. But and the way he just talks, it's like, this dude's evil, dude. Like, I recommend, if anybody loves shit like that. I was hooked on my Tati, who loves Dateline. She said, I don't know why you're making me watch this. I'm like, you love watching murder, can't watch this, but it is bad. It's like, the guy goes, it's just a body, the person's dead. It's like, no, that's somebody's loved one, dude. Like, you're hearing what they did to them. it's a crazy. So those are the two shows I'm watching anyway.
I'm sorry, but there are two things that people I want to say in the chat. Everyone saying, Evan's like Constance saying, Evan's getting upset.
Yeah.
I have to shout out that. And people are talking about the rivalry, JC. I just want to.
Yes, I was going to bring that up.
Yes,
Oh,
I would love to know what you think.
Yeah. So for me, honestly, I like it. I really do. I love the look. Yeah, I had another idea in my head of I knew like I love the black jersey with the aqua and the orange, and I'm excited for it. I wish the pants were another color, maybe the white. I think that would have been cool. But I think I like it. I don't hate it as much. Obviously, I put it all together here so it stands out. But no, I know there's some people, but it seems like the traditional fans, like the older fans, are not liking it as much. I like it. I know they're like, oh, I'd rather just see the old logo. I'd rather see the 2002 logo. I'd rather see those Dolphin uniforms come back, but we're not getting that. But I do like this. I like this look. It's new. And I hope it's like a one game a season type of thing where they bring it back every season. That's how much I like. I think it's cool. What about you, Sammy?
There's so much money left on the table by NFL by not doing what the NBA does and what now Major League Baseball does and what soccer for sure does about having so many alternate jerseys and so many other. There's the NFL is about making money, and they do a great job. But there's still, there's still so much less in that money left on the table. So I would not be surprised in 4 or 5 years from now we had like 3 or 4 alternate jerseys and 4 or 3 alternate uniforms. So because they look great, I think they're awesome. I was kind of afraid because if the Dolphins find a way to fumble this, Fins Station will never forgive them for that. But I think it came great. I think it looks awesome. So I think it's
awesome. Evan, so you're saying I get a ticket and possibly a jersey if I go?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Now you have to come on, man.
I know. Doll of Doll's Diaries is going to go down to Fans Week as well. Awesome. Yeah, so reached out. But Bobby, I'll stick with Married with Children album. Oh, dude. I love Married with Children, bro. Al Bundy, of course. Alex, what do you think of these jerseys, man?
Oh, dude, I absolutely love them. And like you mentioned, Sammy, unfortunately, obviously the NBA has 82 games, baseball has 162. So you have weekends like the Marlins. By the way, the Marlins jersey, like the Heat, the Marlins, the Dolphins, they have now this black alternate, which I even think the Miami Marlins jersey, that Miami one that they wear now, that is black, that is their original font from their Marlins times, the single font. That M with that Marlin is a better logo than the one that we have now. Absolutely. With the Dolphins, I'm not gonna say switch it up, but this black jersey definitely to me has to be part of the rotation where some teams have 3 style of pants, 3 style of jersey. You can wear combinations, like you said, Bobby, black jersey with white, or even the aqua pants. You could wear aqua jersey with black pants. Like there's definitely a combination here because black goes good with anything, man. So and it's just perfectly done. Perfectly done.
There you go. See, Crazy Dolphin likes it. I do. I like the jerseys. Russ,
they're amazing.
Russ is right on my Seinfeld, King of Queens. Forgive me, ELR. What is that show? Am I ELR?
Arrow?
ELR, Veep, Curb.
Veep is great. Curb
Enthusiasm.
But what's ELR?
Is that about the guy who goes back to the town after he's in prison or something? Probably misspelled or something.
Oz? Are you talking about? But Curb and Veep are. I love those shows, man. Those are.
If you've seen Fins TV, you know.
Everybody loves Raymond.
Yes,
there you go.
Yes.
That's one of my favorites.
You could have just said Raymond, bro. I'll just say Raymond. I would have got that. But no, of course. But Veep, Curb, Seinfeld's funny. King of Queens. That's Tati and me a lot of the time, dude. You watch that. That's me and Tati's life there.
It is a good representation.
It is. It really is.
No Betty La Fea here. No Betty La Fea.
No Betty La Fea. No.
Get Bobby to come down. Pressure. Evan, Miss Fins. Yes, the Chargers is fan club weekend. Actually, Evan's been talking about it. Sammy's talking about it. Sammy, you're going to fan club weekend, right?
Absolutely. Yes, I'll be there.
There you go. It's gonna be great, guys.
Flanagan's
it's an awesome event. What'd you say? Flanagan's. There you go.
After. That has to be. That has to be, man.
And I know Ivan already pressuring me, and I know I'm talking about it. I was talking to Tati yesterday. It's like, hey, because now they got this whole thing with flying. You got to have the real ID and all that. I don't have that yet. So
you have to. Well,
yeah,
That's simple.
That's an
Bobby.
easy
That's,
change.
yeah, that's
That's
not-
an easy change.
just go get a
it's
driver's license.
it's just an hour and a half in the DMV. You can do that.
That's it.
yeah. So it's a whole day. But oh, there you go. Mom saying she shall attend fan club weekend. The how do you call this? Tati, I was talking to Tati yesterday. I said, what if we drove? What if I drove down there? Like, what, how would that be? Maybe I would
can
do
do
that.
that.
Whoa,
Yeah.
Whoa. It's a long weekend, right? I think it's Columbus.
Yeah.
For me over here it is because Columbus weekend. So
Yes, I know. Evan has a free room. I know. Evan is doing everything in his power. I know.
Evan is
and I told Tati
legit
that
telling
because Tati and I
everything.
talked about that. We were like, whether at my
it's
house.
a business trip. It's a business trip.
That's the truth. It is a business trip at that point. I'm not going. It's business.
You're gonna meet the affiliates. Come on.
That's right. I know. So I'm being pressured. I know I am. It's okay. But I, of course, I get to see my mom and see the guys. Get to hang out with Sammy and Evan. Evan, I killed it. Hey, we'll get some new post game or pre-game, excuse me, pictures and tape with Sammy and me and Evan. It'll be great. But anyway, we're at the 2-hour mark. Sammy, my brother, big week for us and for you on Fins TV. You got a show. Is it Tuesday night? Fins
Tuesday
TV?
night at 8 p.m. the regular Fins TV. We're gonna have the Right Now show. We're gonna talk about basically we talked so many times about this, but it's the end for sure. It's the end of the road for Mike McDaniel too. It's right now or never for the Dolphins. They had to find a way to win this year, to get into the playoffs somehow. To win a game would be the cherry on top, but they had to do it right now. There's no excuse for them. We're expecting Amanda Sorgara to join us to do a season preview during the show and some other guests. I want to talk to you if you can join us for 10 minutes during one of the segments, Bob. If you're feeling better, we'll talk about that for Tuesday. If you're
brother,
like
100%.
I would already and you and I to talk about a small segment to talk about the show on Thursday on FTSN Fins TV Plus. We're gonna have the 2023 Colts fan of the year for Tuesday. You'll be there someday. You'll be soon enough.
I love he goes, you'll be there someday. Like,
because it's not gonna be this Tuesday because the show is gonna be 3 hours. We're gonna wait.
Sucks for you, Fitzstanza.
But I'll see you on Sunday for the for the FDSN pregame show, and on Thursday we're gonna have 2023 Colts fan of the year, Mary Johnson, to talk about some Colts behind the end of the day. So it's gonna be a fun week.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. Fins TV Plus coming to FTSN with Sammy and Eddie. I'm just very excited. Sammy, I mean, if you guys have not seen any of his shows, which I'm sure everyone has, if you haven't, you're missing out. Go to Fins TV and look what he does. I mean, I'm just so excited to have Sammy a part of the team and also, to be partnered up with Fins TV. And yes, you just let me know when, brother, and I'll do that for Tuesday. Let's see. And of course, this coming Sunday, the first game of the season for the Dolphins, the Colts, the season premiere of the Miami Dolphins pregame show. Fins Danza and I are back, but we have a new partner, and that's Fins Sammy. So I'm very excited for this upcoming season because the postgame shows are usually wild. Evan's pissed for anything we win. He's still pissed, but pregame, at least he's a little, he's a little higher up until, unless McDaniel's just totally crapping the bed the whole season. But at least now I have Sammy there to back me up.
I had a chance to meet with Evan Fitzstanza here on San Juan a couple of weeks ago. Listen, great guy, great family. He loves the Dolphins. He knows his stuff because he's not negative just for the sake of being negative, like some people are.
No.
The man knows his stuff. He's clear about what he really feels, and everything he said. You might not agree with him, but it's bad. He's a great guy, so I'm looking forward to spending some Sunday mornings with him and with Evan too.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Crazy Dolphin. There you go. Yes, Miss Fins.
Yes. I'm seeing San Juan right now.
San Juan.
We're right on Hurricane Alley. Yes.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
I'm gonna say it like that now. I'm gonna say Port of Rico. I'm gonna say it to I'm gonna get smacked.
Which is it's an actual translation because Puerto is port, obviously in English. So you're not saying it wrong.
First of all, I never said. I'm gonna. First of all, thank you for.
It's not French. It's not Porto.
Porto.
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
Porto.
One of the three musketeers, Portos.
Sammy is the man. Alex, Bobby, enough said. Whatever. Bobby, yeah, I know. There you go.
Oh man.
But no, Evan.
Resport, yes.
Evan is Evan's awesome, you know, and for those, you know, you like you said, Sammy, those who watch, they don't know, but behind the scenes, there's no bigger Dolphin fan. There's no bigger person, really. The dude's like 8 feet tall, Andre the Giant's stepchild or something, and you know, but bigger person, better person. Love Evan to death.
The most genuine person, both positive and negative, realistic. He is a genuine person. That's what we love about Evan. Yeah. And we bust your balls, but we love you, man.
We spent like 50 minutes talking, and you can see the guy.
Oh, it's easy. It's
like if you've known him. It's like if you've known him your whole life.
Yes.
That's it.
It's true.
That's Evan.
100%.
Yes.
100%. But guys, listen, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, stick here for FTSN. Got an awesome week of Dolphins coverage and wrestling and basketball and everything else.
I'm sorry, but
go ahead.
Ross is Mayagüez, not Mayagüez. Mayagüez.
Let's just butcher the name just to piss. Now that Sammy's a part of the FTSN family, and now that I piss off my wife enough with things that I say, how I say things. Let's just have fun with Sammy. My Joe West. I call it my Joe West.
We need to have a segment going forward, Sammy, where you're just listening to we're reading the comments out loud, and you just go at them and you give them the correct pronunciation.
Oh God,
Puerto Rican slang.
Like those times with angry notes, you read the angry notes, right?
Yes, just like that.
Don't even correct me when it happens. Wait till the end of the show.
Yes,
and have a card.
Yes,
Bobby with his Gringo accent.
On PTI
Whatever.
with the star boy had the omission and the mistake at the end of the show.
They'll be like, this will be Sammy at the end of the show.
Just
anyway, Bobby, before we wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, oh, man.
Go. Do you have another half an hour?
Yeah.
No, there's Jamila. If it's not my wife, it's Jamila. It's Alex's wife who comes out.
That's my wife. Yes.
Just like
Bobby with the Gringo accent.
That's why it's Bobby on East Central. It's Bobby El Gringo.
Bobby El Gringo. Yeah, that's right.
That's what I was called in my. It's crazy that in Miami in Hialeah I was the Gringo. In Tennessee, I'm the Hispanic. I'm like, do you argue in your language? I'm like, what?
Well,
you're a hybrid.
I'm a hybrid. Yeah. Half white, half Puerto Rican. Grew up in a Cuban house. I have all of it. But anyway, Alex, any final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
I'm just excited for the Canes game tonight. Sammy, welcome aboard. Welcome part of the family. Looking forward to sharing many moments with you guys here on air. Bobby, I hope you feel better. Drink some tea, relax, chill, do some saltwater gargles and enjoy your weekend, man. What's left of it,
What's left of it is right.
Bobby, I saw so many people who are gonna be on the Fins TV Pick and League on the chat. I saw Miss Fins. I'm gonna have to ask Evan. I think Evan already is. I'm gonna have to Alex if he wants to join the Fins TV Pick and League. We're gonna be picking games during the season, and the winner is gonna win the second annual championship ring. So we're gonna have a lot of fun during the season on the Fins TV Pick and League.
I can't wait. I'm winning that ring. Bearded is not. Manny is not winning that again. I'll tell you that.
First week, Jason Sarney was right ahead, and there Bearded was like,
it was gone. Like there was no catching up to Manny last year.
Adrian was right on top of the first 2 places, and he forgot to save his pick 1 week, and
I just said this yesterday to Josh Kimmel. I was on No Holds Barred, and I said, this is my last one. I said, because now I got pregame, postgame, Fins Talk today, No Holds Barred, East Century Boys. I got 5 shows plus I'm producing all the other ones. So, it is what it is. I'll tell you what. I get it. But I love it. And then, my son's basketball.
Do it while you're young. Wait until you're my age. You'll think do it do it. You can't do it while you're young. Enjoy.
And I got to coach my son
your
basketball
young
team. He
years.
just told him, my wife was like, "We're doing that again, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing that again."
Yo, I'm doing it again.
Oh wow.
Thank you, Evan. I appreciate you, brother. And then just to shout out to there, guys, just letting y'all know, there's Miss Fins has 2 more spots in her fantasy league. If anybody wants to join in on that,
For those who play
there you go.
fantasy, I appreciate those who do, but I just at my age I just can't. Too much pressure.
What you guys don't know is Sammy is 65 years old. He keeps commenting. He's old as sh.
I'm just getting my first social security check this week. So, yeah.
There you go. Anyway,
I used to be a kindergarten when Steve Malloy just was born. So you know.
You put them together, you know, you think that no, it's Sammy. Sammy's old as shit. But anyway, listen, Sammy will be back obviously Tuesday, Fins TV. Don't miss out on that. And then Thursday here on FTSN with Fins TV Plus, and again, of course, with me and Evan for the Dolphins pregame show next Sunday. Guys, enjoy the day. Clash at Paris for WWE is happening in just a few minutes. And so watch for that if you're a wrestling fan.
Tonight,
and of course, tonight. Big game, Notre Dame versus the Hurricanes. Got to represent the U. That's Fins Sammy. That's Alex, the boy. I'm Bobby El Gringo. Like and subscribe. And Dolphin fans, most importantly, screw you guys.
Screw you guys? Dolphins fans,
screw you guys.
Well, that was a horrible ending, man.
Watching. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Bobby El Gringo's in the house. Straight out of Hialeah, no doubt. East 10th Street, where we play out. Here we bring the Miami crowd. Alex, the boy with the B. Step into rhythm, feel the heat. Street vibes mixing with the Latin tree. In our flow, the 2 worlds meet.